What's up, people? Happy Wednesday night. Game week 13 is here. It's a blank. Cheers. Steph White, Ron, Beer Nuts boys. Cheers. As usual, guys. Andy Martin, Dave, James, FPL Tactician, _FPL, and at James Alappin. Thank you very much for everything you're doing. Like not warning us that blank game week 13 would be a blank game week ahead of game week 12. Cheers. Appreciate that. -8 I took to get 2 fucking Middlesbrough players in, you bastards. I'm only joking. I should have spotted it anyway. Hope everybody's well. Let's have a quick chat. See who we got in the chat. I see Andy Martin's in. Clean Sheet, Wipeout, Bricky, Robin Wells, Ed Cannon, Darren Addy, Dick Willington, Harbour Boy, Angus McFell. Captain's here. That's just as well, isn't it? Badger, Colm, Jose Vargas, Ian McAllister, Gary Shepherd. Gary Shepherd, thank you very much for your suggestion, which made our quiz today, an A to Z of the Premier League. I'll detail a bit later what that was, but brilliant quiz today. I think it's the best quiz we've done, and I think 90% of you in this chat will really enjoy that quiz. It went on YouTube about 20 minutes ago, I think. It went out audio-wise about 6 o'clock. But right, let's get into it. One other thing first. God, they're a bit weird, aren't they? Calypso? Fucking hell, I feel like I've just bought this from an ice cream van. I don't want to encourage drinking. But our friend Korf, one of the Wolfpack boys. Great pod, by the way. Irons, Josh Paxman, Andy North. Brilliant podcast. Korf has suggested a drinking game. Which, if you want to die on your arse, I suggest you go and find that tweet and play the drinking game. You probably won't make it to 10 o'clock. It's basically a drinking game based on things I say. And it's Wednesday night and it's after Watershed, so I feel like, well, it's not after Watershed, do you know what I mean? You ain't wishing it with your kids now, are you? If you are, mute this. There's going to be more fucking swearing tonight. Let's do the team news, guys. So, there is some headline news, definitely. I feel like the last few weeks I've done this, there hasn't been anything team news-wise that's made me really go, oh, this is a major issue or something. But certainly, straight away, as soon as I saw that Arsenal team, Robert Pires not in the Arsenal 11 and a substitute. I know there are definitely people that I have seen on Twitter who were captaining Robert Pires this game week. Not as many as it looks like they've left the captaincy on Ruud van Nistelrooy and Thierry Henry, but that's a different matter we'll get onto in a bit when we got the statistics for that. Also, Louis Saha is not in the squad for Fulham. Paul Warhurst starts OOP up front for Bolton. I know it's Juan Pablo Angel is on the bench for Aston Villa. Robbie Keane doesn't start for Leeds, but neither does Alan Smith. Michael Bridges plays up front for Leeds. And James Beattie is a substitute for Southampton. Kevin Davis is back in, but I'll run you through all the team news. So we'll start with Arsenal. 2 changes for them. Sorry, 3 changes, because obviously Perez is not in that team. Obviously, Henry suspended. It's a 1-game ban. He will be back for game week 14. And Oleg Gluzny was extremely short of fitness and was always likely to miss out. So Lauren comes in up right back. Lundberg is in place of Perez. And Francis Jeffers starts up front with Kanu. We obviously knew yesterday that Kanu and Jeffers were both going to start together for Arsenal. So Arsenal are Seaman in goal. Lauren, Adams, Sokrimbo, Ashley Cole are your back 4. In midfield, right to left, it's Lundberg, Albertini, Van Bronckhorst and Tikhonov, Jeffers and Kanu up front. Perez, as I said, is amongst the Arsenal substitutes. So too is Richard Wright, Junichi Inamoto, Ray Parlour and Graham Barrett, who, don't quote me on this, but I think is a young forward. Pretty sure. They host, obviously, Sunderland. 2 changes for them. George McCartney, yeah, I can say that, got in for Bernd Haas in game week 12. He's immediately out the team. There is a Sunderland debut for new signing Danny Mills, bought for 2.3 million from Leeds. He's obviously a 4.5 million defender. He's in at right back. And Julio Arco is due out for around about 10 days. So Chris Bart-Williams is back into that Sunderland lineup. They are Sorensen, Mills at right back. Craddock retains his place this week. Tome, Gray, Till, McCann, Schwartz, Bart-Williams, Phillips, Leslandes on the bench. Ashdown, Medina, Haas, Peters and Varga. Interestingly, just between the two teams there, Arsenal and Sun, there are only 2 players given the attacking arrows in that fixture, and they are the 2 Sunderland wide men of Gary Till and Chris Bart-Williams. Remember, Sunderland are quite likely to double game week in game week 15. What I'm going to do in terms of just a little bit to fill half-time time tonight, I'm just going to go over a little bit of permutation-wise quite slowly at half-time tonight, just to make you aware of mainly what to expect between now and game week 14, and then potentially what to look out for between game week 14 and 15. But obviously, I'll repeat a lot of that again in game week 14. It's what we can learn mainly in the next, probably tomorrow, we'll find out essentially. On to the Valley. Charlton are unchanged, very settled side now. Obviously won 3-1 at West Ham United last game week, although perhaps a little bit fortuitously. It's Kylie, Young, Rufus, Shitu, Powell, Kinsella, Jensen, McAllister, Wilcox, Yule and Bartlett on the bench. Roberts, Robinson, Johansson, Fortune, Graham Stewart. Their opponents are Blackburn Rovers. There was a small thought that Blackburn might change system and actually play a 3-5-2 or 4-4-2 here. No, it's the 4-5-1, or as I've seen quite a few people calling it this week, the 7-2-1. There are 3 changes for Blackburn. Craig Short's out for about 10 days. Martin Taylor comes in. Craig Hignett is back, comes in place of Jimmy Corbett. And Matt Jansen is in up front in place of Marcus Bent. Neither Bent or Grabby on the bench for Blackburn either. They are Alan Kelly retains his place in goal. Curtis, Berg, Taylor, Bjornaby, your back 4. McAteer, Flitcroft, 2 guide of 3 holding players. Craig Hignett plays right midfield. Alaman on the left. Matt Jansen up front. Dunn, Duff, Grayson, Brooms, Brad Friedel are the Blackburn substitutes. Chelsea make 3 changes. 2 of them are enforced. Marcel Desailly is out for around about 3 weeks. And Frank Lampard begins a 1-game ban, so he will return in game week 14. Desailly unlikely to be back though till game week 16. Remember, in the simulation now, we are weekend. So there's no midweek fixtures in terms of Premier League in this sim, other than, yeah, double game week shit, right? So in for Chelsea is Ferrer, Melchior, Morris. The other Chelsea player to miss out is Mikel Forsell. It means that Sam Dallabonna plays in the 10 position. Bet you'll wish you got him on your free hit now. Chelsea are Kudicini, back 3 of Melchior, Ferrer, Terry, Stanic and Gronkiar retain places in the wing-back roles. Petit goes back into midfield alongside Jody Morris. Dallabonna pushes on to 10. Gianfranco Zola plays right up front with Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. Chelsea's bench is Rhys Evans, sub-goalkeeper for FPL Tacticians Dead Team. Budavine Zenden, Leon Knight, Graham Lasso, who I think from the stream, if I remember right, was being linked with Blackburn, and Celestine Barriaro. So they've essentially got 3 left-sided players on the bench there, Chelsea. Read into that what you will in terms of potential changes during the game. For Fulham, there are 2 changes. As I'd said at the top of the show, Lewis Zaha misses out. So too Bjarni Goldbeck. Sylvan Legwinski comes back into the side. And so too does Steve Marley back from a ban. Interestingly, it means Steve Malbronk goes onto the right midfield. But from that position, still encouraged to attack into central positions. So Fulham are Van der Sar, Corrigan, Melville, Wadu, Harley, obviously 4.0, Melville retaining his place at the moment. Alan Goma was 88% fit and very nearly made my wildcard squad. He hasn't made Fulham's squad today. Andy Melville hangs on to his place. It's Malbronk, Legwinski, Collins, Stoissers, Marley and Boa Morte back up front. On the bench for Fulham, Steve Finnan is back available, having missed all of this season so far. Mike Taylor, the sub-goalkeeper, Kieran McInnesby, Lee Clark and Sean Davis. Everton are unchanged following their 4-3 victory against Liverpool. And I suggest this is now their strongest side. It is Gerrard in goal, back 3 of Stubbs, who was about 90% fit. He does play, got the nod over Gomar. Stubbs, Xavier, Weir, wingbacks of Watson and Naismith, midfield 3 of Gravison, Gemmell, Pembridge, up front, Rudzinski and Duncan Ferguson split forwards. When I say that's their strongest side, what I mean by that is, I think if everyone's fit now, that's their likely team in home games. We know they will change system depending on the reputation of opponent at home, potentially, although they did line up the same against Liverpool. And for away games, they're obviously very liable to change system. Everton host Bolton Wanderers today. And looking through the Bolton team, I thought I was going to announce for the first time ever no changes for either side, until I came across Paul Warhurst up front, OOP for Bolton. Isn't he? He's perhaps a defender, isn't he? I'm sure he is. So one maybe to watch out for if he returns today. I'm sure he's a defender. I might have that wrong. Someone will put it in the chat and confirm why I'm yapping anyway. But he is in, which means Michael Ricketts is only a substitute. Otherwise, Bolton are unchanged. It's Jääskeläinen, back three of Cooper and Gotti Hendry. Wingbacks Charlton, Maddison, Nolan and Lee in midfield. Wallace behind Warhurst and Henrik Pedersen. Ricketts is joined on the bench by subkeeper Steve Banks, Ian Marshall, Per Franson and Dean Holden. One change for Ipswich, but it won't disappoint anybody too much. Anybody who's wildcarded or free hitted into Ipswich assets will be pleased that all the main starters start. I think we could have all probably picked 10 of this lineup, and that's how it's proved. Jermaine Wright comes in for Jim Magilton. So it means that Andy Marshall retains his place in goal. Matteo Sereni's suspension does end next game week. Back three is Bramble, Gardso, Haridason, wingbacks Tariko and Clapham. Midfield three of informed Jason Kumas, Matt Holland, Jermaine Wright. Pablo and OOP, Finidi George. Players split forwards up front. Marcus Stewart out for 2 months, leaving Finidi and Pablo out of my wildcard team was desperately dirty for both of them. And I'm just going to have to accept that they are going to get returns, but I need to live without it. On the bench for Ipswich is Keith Brannigan, Martin Royster, Sixto Peralta, Jim Magilton and Alan Armstrong, who obviously is a forward as well, and I think Peralta is as well. 3 changes for Villa. Interesting, as I said, no place for Juan Pablo Angel. No place either for Alan Wright or Ian Taylor. Into that Villa side come Alpay, Boateng, Dion Dublin. It's a change of system. It's a 5-3-2, the one you may have commonly seen. The 2 fullbacks push on up to the midfield positions. The left centre-half and the right centre-half push out to fullback positions. The centre midfielder of the 3 drops deep. The other 2 midfielders asked to support the front 2. I wouldn't want to be a manager and explain that shit to my players. In any case, it means that Steve Staunton plays left back with licence to push on in that Aston Villa side today. I wonder, for those who have particularly free-hitted this week, I wonder how many have him on their bench. It's Schmeichel in goal, Carr, Melberg, Alpay, Barry, Staunton. Boateng is the midfielder to drop in. Merson and Hadji, the 2 to support a front 2 of Balaban. And Dion Dublin, who's scored goals on the odd occasion that he's played so far this season. Angel and Wright are joined on the bench by J. Lloyd Samuel, Jonathan Buers, and substitute goalkeeper Peter Enkelman. Off to Filbert Street as we head into around about 9 minutes till kick-off. Leicester are 4-4-1-1, just the one change. Joby McAnuff back into the side, but Robbie Savage retains his place, goes to right back. Means no place in the Leicester 16 for Gary Rowett, who I don't believe had an injury. And also, there is another change, the one that I'd predicted on the last couple of streams, I thought may well happen. And that is that Tim Flowers is back in goal for Leicester in place of Ian Walker. So they are Flowers, Robbie Savage at right back. It's Elliott, Taggart centre-half, Delaney left-back. Right to left in midfield is McAnuff, Wise, Is it and Impey. Is it the one from that midfield 4 given licence to push on? James Scowcroft can join Dean Sturridge from the 10 position. On the bench with Ian Walker for Leicester, Adi Akinbaye, Arnaud and Laugson, Trevor Benjamin and Matthew Jones. 3 strikers on the bench for Leicester. Matthew Jones was a midfield player, if I remember correctly from memory. Was he at Leeds? Anyway, Leeds are Leicester's opponents today, and they've made 4 changes. The most notable of which is Robbie Keane is not in the Leeds 11, but neither is Alan Smith. Michael Bridges comes into the team. Also, Jonathan Woodgate replaces Michael Dewberry at centre-half. There are starts for Alan Mabry and Harpal Singh. In for Eric Bakker and David Batty. Smith and Keane amongst the subs for Leeds. They are Martin, Kelly, starting lineup is Martin, Kelly, Radaby, Woodgate, Hart, Mabry, Bowyer, Singh, McPhail. So it's McPhail and Mabry in the wide positions. And Michael Bridges and Mark Viduka right up front. It is a 4-4-2 system. Subs are Paul Robinson, Simon Johnson, Dewberry, Keane and Smith. Newcastle make 2 changes. There is a debut for Antonis Saponitis, bought this week from Iraklis. He's priced in the game as a 5.5 million midfielder. Craig Bellamy, who was rated about 90% fit, does not take his place in the Newcastle 16. Obviously, we have learnt from the stream on Sunday night that Lon Robert and Norberto Solano both face a lengthy absence out of the team, estimated at around about 3 months each. Also into the Newcastle side comes Robbie Elliott, who plays left midfield. That means Olivier Bernard retains his place at left back. Saponsis, that guy, he plays central midfield. Given the number 7 shirt, he's going to score. They're playing Spurs. So Newcastle are given Barton, Marcelino, Davizas, Bernard. Kieran Dyer right midfield, Robbie Elliott on the left. Centrally is Saponsis and Besadas. Sounds like I'm booking dinner for 2. Cole Court and Alan Shearer up front. On the bench for Newcastle, Otto Fredrickson is the sub-keeper. Wayne Quinn, Gary Speed, Gary Caldwell and Aaron Hughes. So it's 3 defensive players and Speed. So not too much to change that there for Newcastle in attacking areas. They host Spurs today. There is 1 change for Spurs. Another one very anticipated. Christian Ziege back fit comes in for Ben Thatcher. Stefan Sikalovic plays in the 10 position again. Teddy Sheringham allowed to go and support Rebroff. Interestingly, this week Sheringham is left of Selakovic and Rebroff further field to the right at Villa in game week 12. That was the other way round, but I don't suppose it makes too much of a difference. Perhaps it's something to do with the matchups and who they'll be going up against. It would put Rebroff right up against Davizas and Sheringham going into Marcelino's area. That's how I would understand that anyway. So Spurs are Keller, King, Bunjevcevic, Perry, Anderton, Ziege, the wing-backs, Poyet and Richard Johnson, central midfield, Selakovic, Sheringham, Rebroff. Stefan Everson is on the bench, so too is Neil Sullivan, Simon Davis, Ben Thatcher, and the kids they keep putting on the bench, they're making up as they go along, because Andy Rushbury is a name that I have never heard of. To St Mary's, 3 changes for Southampton, one of which I obviously already mentioned. James Beattie out of the Southampton lineup, so too are Joe Tessum and Howard, the geezer from E17. Into the team come Jason Dodd. Gavin Ray at 90% fit comes in, and so too does Kevin Davis. Southampton are Paul Jones in goal, Rory Delap right back, Wayne Bridge left back, Klaus Lundik fam Jason Dodd at centre half, Dan Petrescu plays right midfield, Gavin Ray left midfield, Murray in central midfield with Svensson. Svensson given licence to push on from there. Davis and Pahars up front. 1 change for Derby County. They're back to the more common 5-3-2 following the 5-2-1-2 out in at Arsenal last week. Daryl Power is suspended, so Adam Murray comes into the lineup. Derby are in their more familiar 3-5-2. It's Poom in goal, Elliott, Carbonari, Riggett, the 3 centre halves. Carbonari as usual allowed to step out. Johnson and Iranio, the wing backs. Burley, Valakri, Murray, central midfield. Ravanelli, Malcolm Christie is split forwards. On the bench for Southampton, Andy Oakes, Danny Higginbottom, Branko Stupard, Daniele Diano and Georgie Kinclardzy, who I guess with that power suspension, a few on free hits, might have hopes that he would have played. He's a substitute. Just to clarify them, Southampton subs, it's Neil Moss, Mark Draper, Joe Tessum, James Beattie and Francis Benali. And finally to Upton Park, where West Ham have a new manager in the great Alex McKeish. And he has shaken up the tactics by doing absolutely nothing with it. And it's a 4-4-2 with attacking wingers again for West Ham. Paolo Di Canio begins a 1 game week ban. Michael Carrick is obviously banned for 3 game weeks. Not that we would have expected him to start in any case. There are changes though. Titi Kamara comes in for Paolo Di Canio up front. Not Jermaine Defoe as we might have expected. Defoe is a substitute. There are changes at the back as well. Rigobert Song and Scott Minto coming to the side for Alistair Asher and Christian Daly. West Ham are David James in goal, Rigobert Song at right back, Scott Minto at left back. Ian Don't Go Breckin, my heart, not to be confused with a Leeds player, plays at centre half with Thomas Repka, who played at left back in the defeat to Charlton. Courtois and Sinclair, the wingers, Hutchison and Joe Cole in the central midfield position. One slight adjustment, Joe Cole is normally allowed to advance in that central midfield position. He does not have the attacking arrow in this game, but that might also have something to do with Liverpool being their opponents. And so finally, to Liverpool, 4 changes in all for Liverpool. No Vegard Hegem, no Gregory Vignal, no Sljojeland, that guy up front. And Patrick Berger is the latest to be added to the Liverpool injury table. He's likely to be out for 3 weeks. Vladimir Smica not fit enough for the squad of 16. He's around about 71% fit, so should be back for game week 14. Into the Liverpool side come Jamie Carragher. There is a turn for Stefan Henshaw, Dietmar Hamann and Danny Murphy also start. It is Dudek in goal, Carragher at right back, Risa at left back, Henshaw and Hippie at the centre halves, Hamann and Steven Gerrard central midfield, Igor Biscan and Nicky Barmby playing the wide positions, and it's OOP Danny Murphy up front with Robbie Fowler. Sturgeland is on the bench with Stephen Wright, Hegem, John Miles, the substitute goalkeeper, Chris Kirkland. We are about 1 minute to kick off. I wish you all the very best of luck. Just before I get on to that, let me give you some statistics from the movements in the markets. Captaincy. The most captained in this game week, as you might have noticed from the graphics bottom right, that our dear friend FPL Captain is on the money as per usual. Most captained is Alan Shearer, 29%. The polls I'd seen in the build up to the game week seems to suggest that would be the likely scenario. He is also my captain. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank is second most, 17% captained. Robbie Fowler third, 10% captained. In the top 300, it's Shearer 35%, Hasselbank 23%, Fowler 11%. The overall numbers on the rest of the captaincy is Redbroth and Carnu, both 4%, Scowcroft 3%, Ashley Cole, Robert Perez 3%. So I said Robert Perez 3% captained overall, and by 2% of the top 300. Francis Jeffers 2% captained, and Mark Viduka 4% captained. Although Mark Viduka's captaincy is only 1% in the top 300, which makes him the 10th most captained in the top 300, as opposed to the joint 4th overall. So it might be some dead Viduka captains, or some people from further back really looking for a differential. Ownership. We've kicked off, by the way. Well done, captain. He's got the clock on the go. Everybody, very best of luck. Let's have some fun tonight. God, that beer is strange. Ruud van Nistelrooy is now 55% owned, 54% owned in the top 300. Those numbers suggest to me that a lot of people have either been very happy to bench him, he's a part of a lot of dead teams, or there's people like me who have a plan in place knowing how to get him back next week. Steve Staunton is now the only other player owned by over 50%. His overall ownership is 52%, that's 53% in the top 300. The next highest owned overall is Alan Shearer, 38%, but I'll do this as top 300 because I think that's now at this stage is probably a little bit more interesting. So Ashley Cole has 50% ownership in the top 300. Alan Shearer 49%. James Scowcroft and David Seaman 46%. Maurizio Tarico 45%. Alan Johnson still holding on to the ownership. People want him straight backs. He's sitting on benches, 43%. Dean Sturridge 43% owned, and so too Anders Svensson. I have news from Filbert Street where Leicester host Leeds. Mark Viduka So close to a wonderful early opener. After 30 seconds, he crosses the halfway line with the ball and continues advancing before unleashing a fierce effort that comes back off the bar. So close. Flowers did not move. And for your top transfers in, obviously on the graphics you'll see the FPL captain's he's got the top 5 in for the most transferred in and most transferred out. I've got the top 10 supplied to me by a FPL captain and probably by other people helping in the community. Cheers guys if you're involved in that shit. Goal at Stamford Bridge. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank is the goal scorer. Early return for those who've gambled on Jimmy as their captain this game week. Assist goes to Jesper Gronkier. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank scorer. Jesper Gronkier with the assist. Chelsea lead Fulham after 2 minutes. On most transferred in out. Most transferred in this game week. Right on cue. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, 215 new owners. James Scowcroft, 196. Robbie Fowler, 189. Alan Shearer, 181. Svensson, 175. Jason Kumas, 157 new owners. Robert Perez, 127 new owners this game week. Ashley Cole, 103 new owners. And that includes the fact that he's lost one. And making up the top 10 of most ball in, Maurizio Tirico, 83 net, and Nwankwo Kanu, 81% net. They did go close a couple of minutes ago. Leeds actually going to play today away from home. They lead at Leicester. Harpal Singh is the goal scorer. There is no assist. People talk to me about pointless FPL goals. Beat that one. Harpal Singh, the goal scorer, assist for none. Leeds lead at Leicester, 3 minutes gone. But as we well know, Leicester have shown capability of coming back from deficits recently. Most transferred out this game week. Remember, these statistics are net transfers. Again, you'll see the top 5 on the graphics. I have the top 10 here. Norberto Solano has lost 562 owners. Ruud van Nistelrooy has lost 412, and I anticipate a lot of them, like me, have plans in place to get him straight back. Obviously, anybody's free hitting's obviously not got him in, so that would be an automatic comeback. And we know there are free hitters out there. David Beckham has lost 297 owners. Thierry Henry, 248 owners. Laurent Blanc, 137. Boxic, 114. Alan Johnson, 86. He's lost 86 owners net, Alan Johnson. Mikel Silvestre has lost 84. Dean Gordon has lost 75. And Fabian Barthez has lost 43. Every one of those players mentioned is unavailable this game week. One of the statistics I would love, guys, that's aimed at James, Andy and Dave, whether you tweet it out or tweet it to me, is chip usage, if you've got it. How many free hits in play? How many wildcards played? Is there any bench boosts out there? Can't be this week, surely. But I reckon there's a good few free hits and wildcards. Information on the Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank goal, which should obviously delight his 215 new owners and the many who have captained him. Great work by Gronkier down the wing. He appears to be looking to pick out Dalabona, but the ball goes behind him and lands at the feet of Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, who lashes the ball past Van der Sar. A quick start for Chelsea. And at Filbert Street, information on the Leeds goal. Great play by Lee Bowyer, who receives Mabry's low cross brilliantly before firing against the upright. The ball rebounds to Harpal Singh, who takes a touch to steady himself before firing past Flowers. Great finish. He looks a future star. They are taking the absolute piss. Nice. Andrew Martin is saying he's seen the chip stats. Pass them over then, mate. I'm not being funny. But look at the entertainment. You know, you got 200 odd people want that information now, mate. Come on. Oh, I see it. Championship Manager's ruined it. They haven't tweeted it out. They haven't given it to me. I've just put it in the live chat. 100 free hits and 50 wildcards. 100 free hits, 50 wildcards. One of which is mine. Now, many of you will have seen the team that I tweeted. I did tweet it out before the deadline, as I always intend to. So, this is what I've done. with my wildcard. First thing to say is I've left £7 million behind in the bank to be able to get Ruud van Nistelrooy back in. I've gone with goalkeepers of David Seaman and Mark Crossley. The intention behind that, essentially it came to a decision for me. I've also got Richard Rufus of Charlton, who's one of the defenders, I'll say now. Came down to a choice of Kylie and Ashley Cole or Seaman and Rufus. And for the saving of the money allowed me to go with a stronger front three before going back to Van Nistelrooy, whereas I'd had to go with something weaker. I'll just cut in there because the ball is in the net again at Stamford Bridge. Jody Morris picks out Sam Donovan on his run into the box and he heads past Van der Sar, but it's ruled out as he is strayed offside. Excuse me. Oh, cheers, guys, for that tweet. That's much appreciated. You'll get a like for that shit. Look at that. I just got a tweet saying for James in open air. Love it. Average score update. The average before kickoff is -2. Almost 3,000 changes made this week. This includes around 100 free hits and 50 wild cards. One little stumbling block and you get your checkbooks out. Well, yeah, I didn't intend to. As I started the show with, I did not have the intention, having got Alan Johnson in and Boxich for part of a -8 last week, for this to happen. Ashley Cole was also part of it, and he's now not in my wildcard squad. So the -8 actually didn't work out too badly on the day, but yeah, I obviously wish I hadn't made it in hindsight. So I've gone Seaman and Crossley. The thinking behind that is obviously Middlesbrough, decent run of fixtures coming up. Really kind of starts with 15, although I should say right now I'm going to free hit in game week 15, so I've not got people in with 15 in mind. I've done the opposite. But I certainly want him in the other side of 16. Seaman and Crossley will tie me up nicely. It gives me just a little bit of Arsenal for what I want as well, in terms of they've got a lot of away games. I can make individual decisions on that in terms of which one I play as I go. So it might be Seaman, obviously I'm aware as a good goalkeeper this week. The only others I'd consider, as I said, was Dean Kiley and Paul Gerrard, but I didn't like it after he had a dodgy performance in the Merseyside derby. So paid Seaman, and I know that so many out there are going to have some sort of Arsenal coverage as well this game week, so I felt like I still needed something. Ashley Cole obviously has the power, but I did feel I got an attacking return out last week, so happy to let it go. One team that many who are planning towards game week 15 would have gambled on is Southampton. Their clean sheet is gone. The front two have combined at St Mary's. Fabrizio Romanelli, the goal scorer, Malcolm Christie with the assist. So defensively, I've gone for Mikel Silvestre, who's obviously sitting on the bench. I've gone for Richard Rufus, as I'd said. I've gone for Herman Hreiderson, Alan Stubbs, so 3 4.5s, and Sammy Hippier. The thinking being that I'll probably come off Rufus to get up to possibly Laurent Blanc or move that money elsewhere in the next couple of weeks. But I found that by going free between United and Middlesbrough, I was just leaving myself one step too weak this game week, and I'm happier to have a stronger team this week and go -4 next week. So that back four that I've got all start. Second goal for Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. They've had the ball in the net 3 times now. This one does count for the second. Gianfranco Zola is up front and has scored. Jesper Gronkiar with his second assist of the game. Chelsea lead 2-0. Hasselbank and Zola, the front two, have scored them. And Jesper Gronkiar, playing at left wing back, has got both of the assists. In midfield, I've gone for Johnston, as you'll already know. I've gone for 3 players in and around the 6.5 million mark. It's Gus Poyet, Steven Gerrard, Jason Kumas. They all start for me today. Klaus Jensen is an available substitute to me that I had on the bench, basically in case Alan Stubbs didn't make it for Everton. It was obviously an argument to start him anyway this week with Blackburn at home, but I've gone with him as first sub, so he's rooted to that bench. Up front, I've gone Kanu. It was a 1-week punt. That's the intention with the 7 million in the bank. Obviously 6.5 difference between Kanu and Van Nistelrooy. I've gone Robbie Fowler. I really wanted Fowler and Rebroff and Van Nistelrooy and Kevin Phillips, who is my other intention at -4 for next week, which would then allow me to step up the 4.5s into game week 16. But I've gone Kanu, Fowler and Alan Shearer. Alan Shearer is my captain. I'll explain the decision on Shearer captain over Kanu and Fowler first. I think there's a little bit of unpredictability in terms of how Arsenal will play without Henry. I haven't seen enough of it to know how that will work. There wasn't enough knowledge in terms of how West Ham would set up. We know that they're absolutely dog shite, but there was a possibility that McLeish was maybe going to play a flat back five. I had no insight knowledge to know, so I decided to go against Fowler as captain. And the key in terms of Shearer was also knowing that Dean Richards again would not be back for Spurs. So I'm thinking of Shearer aerially against Ledley King, Goran Bogdanovic and Chris Perry, and I'm expecting them to batter them, to tell you the truth. I'd be stunned if this game week finishes and Alan Shearer hasn't scored going against them three centre-halves. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but that's why I've gone Shearer as captain. I don't expect him to go mental, but I do expect him to score today. So my thinking in terms of next transfers is Shearer to Kevin Phillips. I very nearly just went with Kevin Phillips anyway. Sunderland have got a great run under the radar, whether you're planning for 15 or not planning for 15. I think Kevin Phillips is a great look, and you can also obviously look at people like Michael Gray and the like as well. And obviously then Kanu to Van Nistelrooy. And that would then actually give me 1.5 million going spare to move, say, Rufus to Blanc. And I might even just do that as a minor save. We'll see. I need to think it over. Those are my current plans. In terms of my decision making on some of these I went for, I wanted a 4.5 who I knew defensively I would leave on the bench in Richard Rufus. Obviously at home to Blackburn this week, great. Those who listen regularly will know I've been saying for weeks that I would definitely start Rufus against Blackburn. And for long periods of this wildcard, he obviously wasn't in it, but it was always going to be Rufus or Kylie. If I get stuck with Rufus in the squad for a sustained period, he's an easy one to leave on the bench till certainly at least sort of 17, 18 in terms of game weeks. It doesn't give me the selection headache that going for, say, 2 Ipswich would have done, because going for 2 Ipswich would have given me some problems, I think. Partwag on Alan Stubbs as well. Solid. He's played every minute for Everton this season. Good home fixture today at home to Bolton. Fancy them potentially for a clean sheet. Another one, happy to sit him on the bench every week. It's a 4.5, knowing he'll constantly get minutes, and that'll do. He's going to be the regular third substitute on the bench. In terms of choice for Ipswich, I don't think it's a bad one. As the guys were saying on the Wolfpack pod Monday night, which I totally agree with, you could go with any of that back five and justify it. Be it Clapham on penalties, Tarika at wing back, Guard Soaks, he's got 0 owners but performs well. He's the one that steps out from the back three. Hariderson, bonus magnet, Bramble, scoring goals. You could go for any of them. I've gone for Hariderson, mainly because I want the stability of them bonus points, which is not as erratic as the attacking returns, in my opinion. So that's why I've gone for Hariderson. Midfield choices, I thought strongly of saving more money back and going Biscan for Gerrard, but the thinking behind going Hippier, Gerrard and Fowler, with me free hitting in game week 15 is I want to be, and I'll talk about how this will work more at half time, I want to be in the right position for Liverpool's doubles if they happen. And Steven Gerrard, I know, will play twice in a double game week. Same with Sami Hyypiä and same with Robbie Fowler if they're all fit. Chelsea are threatening to absolutely demolish Fulham at Stamford Bridge. The woodwork's been hit now. Well, Chelsea on fire here today. Stanic passes into Zola, who spins on the ball and then curls an excellent effort against the post. One-way traffic here. Information on that Zola goal, which I'd missed. It's a fast start by the Blues. Gronkiar to create again, but this time his delivery is deliberate. He lifts a lovely ball towards Zola, who controls it beautifully and drives it home low past Van der Sar. And on the Ravanelli goal at St Mary's for Derby, which was assisted by strike partner Malcolm Christie. Derby lead at St Mary's, lovely team move. It ends up with Craig Burley picking out Malcolm Christie, who tees up Ravanelli to half volley, fine finish past Paul Jones. Similarly, in terms of going Gerrard, in terms of the doubles and the fixtures afterwards, I had to have some Spurs in there somewhere. Not for today, but on the fixtures coming up shortly. Particularly, obviously, starting with the West Ham home fixture in game week 16, which is obviously a game week where I'm potentially going to want to be attacking other teams who may have a double. So Poyet's sitting in there as a placer at the moment. He's doing okay at his value. Can't argue it. Jason Kumas having a great spell for Ipswich, as obviously kind of already mentioned in terms of Ipswich coverage. brilliant run of home fixtures, which I think those planning towards game week 15 may well be missing out on. Because for us 3 hitters in game week 15 as well, they have Middlesbrough away. It's the only tough fixture they have for a while. I think 5 of the next 6, including today's at home. It's a great run of fixtures. And Klaus Jensen, I had picked out a couple of weeks ago, stays in. I think best 4.5 million midfielder. Great. He can do a job for me on the bench. Just sit there, pick up his 2-pointers, do his job when needed. And maybe if the time's right or I'm struggling, I'll play him. But I wanted to have a strong enough squad that I didn't deem him necessary today. But he's absolutely bound to score now I've said that. The ones that very nearly missed out, or perhaps haven't mentioned, was just going 3 United on the bench straight away, like Blanc. I didn't want to go sort of like Van Nistelrooy, Veron and Sylvester and tie that sort of money up. I'd seen one team today that's got about £40 million on its bench. I'm not joking. In terms of the available assets, I think it was Van Nistelrooy, Henry, Beckham and a goalkeeper and Bywater. I forget whose team that was, but that equates to 40 million. I saw that tweeted out as somebody's bench. 40 million invested in the bench. I mean, it's a little too much personally, but I wish whoever that was good luck. Right, that's me essentially. Kanu 1 week punt, and Shearer again, it's captaincy. If I end up staying with Shearer, that's obviously okay, not a big deal, but I've got him in because I think he can attack the Spurs assets aerially. So that's it. K Spurs, get in there. Oh, Teddy Sheringham. Whoa, Teddy. Sergei Rebrov with the assist. Spurs lead at St James's. Go on, boys. Perfect time. I just finished talking. Just in time to talk about Spurs. Sláinte. God, these ones are funky. Chris, FBL Cats, you warned me about these ones. They're different, aren't they? I mean, I'll give them a go tonight, but yeah. That's the one to give the kids. In essence. Spurs lead at Newcastle. Sheringham, he's on a brilliant streak, isn't he? Has scored. Rebrov with the assist. Forwards, I would love to go with, in the next few weeks, genuinely, Rebrov, Phillips and Fowler. It's obviously no Van Nistelrooy then, and I'm sorry, I'm just not prepared to go down that route. Great play by Rebrov down the flank, ends with him delivering the ball to the front post where Teddy Sheringham gets in front of Warren Barton to nod pass given. This game was always guaranteed goals. No shit, Sherlock. Nobody was expecting back-to-back Davies. That's clean sheets, were they? Hiphock07 Legendary says, I think I prefer Planet FPL singing a chant than playing it on the phone. I'm happy to sing that one because it's a Spurs one, right? So, but yeah, I'm going to try and get some chants going today. Yeah, why not? Thank you for those who've been answering stuff in the chat and talking to each other, and I've been taking absolutely no notice of you. It's not personal. I've said everything I need to and want to say now, and I'm happy to get involved in the chat. Strategy stuff, as I said, it's very minor. It's just a little bit of clarity that I think some people need. At half time, I'll do that. Dan Perry saying he's got 36.5 million on his bench. Patrick Lawson, Rebrov, you beaut, captain returns, nice. FDM2 getting Rebrov, got a few assists this year. The Tim Lum, what beer is it today? It is Siren Calypso, dry hot sour. I mean, it's only a 4% baby. I'm saving the strong ones that came in the package. I'm saving for game week 15. So we be like, by 10 o'clock next Wednesday night, I will be pissed. So good luck with your free hits and your bench boosts and all that shit, whatever you're planning for. DJ Musicates, for fuck's sake, got in Shearer on a punt for Teddy at the last minute. Should have just stuck with Teddy. Do you listen to anything I just said 5 minutes ago? 70 minutes to go. I really just don't. I'd never understand that mentality. Never understand it. Alan Watt Daddy, keep ignoring Sheringham thinking he might be rotated. Well, I'll agree with that, yeah. Definitely wanted a little bit of my Spurs ready for game week 16. Like I said, when I know I might need to attack others. How old is Sheringham on this? Says Gary Smith. Oh, 37 coming on to 38, I think. Aritrava is happy with that Red Broth return. Optimus Prime says, "Hello, this is Optimus Prime. It's time for Fowler, I think." Alan Cronin, James, you mentioned Mark Costley there. His interview on Under the Kosh podcast is something else. One of the funniest listens I've ever had. Definitely recommended. Alan, do me a favour, because I'll never remember that, and I do like a good laugh in my life. DM me the link or something, pal, because I'll never remember that, or even just DM me and remind me. But yeah, cheers, thanks for that. FPL Blade, has Jason Yule scored yet? He's my captain. Tomo, our Sheffield United correspondent, Mr. Blade, you well know that Jason Yule is not going to score until you sell him, mate. Late Riser 12, Rebroff top for goals and assists amongst all strikers. Is that right? It's on 4 assists now, Rebroff. I don't know how many goals he's got. Van Nistelrooy got no assists then this season. Is that correct? I'm not sure that's right. Andy Kent's beer sounds a bit ropey. Look, I paid for it. I'm drinking it. That's the Tottenham attitude. Gary Smith, what was the average score last week? More than what I got, I can assure you. I dropped overall to joint 107th. But in spite of the circumstance, and I had to make a move. I had 8 players out. He had 5 for Middlesbrough Man United, plus Henry suspended. Matteo Sereni as well. With Casey Keller as my other goalkeeper. I mean, just get out, man. And Solana. So, and there you go. There's Keller's clean sheet gone. Alan Shearer's not scored. Sorry, DJ Music Case. Goal scorer is Christian Besaidis at Newcastle on terms. It's going to come to no surprise to anybody that Newcastle and Spurs are both on the score sheet today. I forgot what I was saying now. What was my point? Rewind. What was I talking about? It's so fucking annoying when that happens. I can't remember what I was saying. Something about beer, maybe. Yes, I'll drink it. It's alright. No shit. By the way, I happened to, as the YouTube video went up for the quiz, I happened to notice that the Planet FPL YouTube channel, the one you are viewing now, is on 1,999 subscribers. Do what you want with it. The Tim Lum, nice. We had a couple good Siren beers. Yeah, Siren beers are decent. I'm going to be honest. Steph will know. I leave the Calypsos, mate. Told you there were goals in this at St James's. Barton puts the ball in towards Besaidis, who heads straight at Keller, but the American, who's making a habit of poor errors, spills it straight back to the Argentine, who buries the rebound. Point in case. That's why he had to go. Clean sheet wipeout says plenty of away goals so far. I just didn't have to write for that. I'm going to save that for later. Near Shakhtar bought in Beatty from my dead end 15 team, already considering a new plan. We talk about this at half time. Luke Porteous, evening James, got work at 5 tomorrow morning, mate. It's alright, mate. You go to bed about 10:30, set the alarm. 6.5 hours sleep. It's fucking loads, mate. Seriously. I'm not joking. The first sleep I saw was 5:30. I had banging back pain yesterday, and I don't know where it came from. I must have slept funny or something. I just couldn't shake it all day, and it kept me up. So I didn't bother going to bed till about 3 o'clock. And then when I did, I couldn't sleep. He woke up at 4 o'clock, so then I had to get him up. It's all fun. You only need a couple of hours sleep. They're doing a 24-hour stream in 10 days. Woodwork's been hit at Goodison. Very little to report here until Rod Wallace hits a powerful effort from just outside the box, which rebounds back off the crossbar. So unlucky, and an excellent strike by the Bolton forward. FPL Hitman says, I've got bourbon stocked for game week 15. Only wine for today. Cheers, James. It's Lancha. DJ Music Ace. Let's hope Shearer gets in the act, James. Hope not. Hope he blanks, mate. And hope Spurs win 6-1. Don't you know me by now? I'm taking this shit seriously, you know. I still think we can win the league. FEM2, where'd you get the beer delivery from James? Beer Nuts UK. I promote the guys all the time. Good friends of the show. They've provided these beers for a lot of people in the community. I'll happily tell you now that Steph is going to be the first guest on the 24-hour stream. We're going to get him on. So you can find out more about craft beers, etc. at 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday week. Boom. It would help if I was even reading the chat live, wouldn't it? Rather than comments from like 5 minutes ago. Ah, Badger. Bad back. I make such hot favourite now for the penalty shootout. I suppose we could do the penalty shootout social distancing, can we? Although, do we have to sanitise the football or something, Mark? Bloody hell. Oh, don't get me started on that stuff. Oh, who's made the chat really small? That's not good. I'm going to struggle with my eyes now. Optimus Prime, I am Marcel Everson. Mark Dorney saying, come you Spurs. Pet Talk, cheers Steve Howie, I thought must have been the case. Paul Ronner, handed in my dissertation yesterday. Last assignment today. Hoping to celebrate with good game week. Paul, many congratulations. Oh. This captaincy is dead. Alan Shearer is down receiving treatment for Newcastle. An anxious moment for Newcastle fans and fantasy managers. He certainly looks uncomfortable here. The physio is on, giving him treatment. Shearer is grimacing. I don't know what it means. I don't know. But you would think it's bad. Can someone tell me, because I don't know, because I'm a bit of a simpleton, but I've managed to make the live chat on YouTube really small. Can someone tell me how to make it bigger? I wonder if there's a way. No, that doesn't work. Oh yeah, don't worry, I've sussed it. Don't tell me. Shearer gives a little nod. The physio gives the thumbs up. And Shearer is fine to continue. That man is made of tough stuff. Yeah, I've fixed the chat shit. Don't worry. Alan Cronin, I can see that you've DM'd me with that link. Really well done. Thank you very much, mate. Now you just got to ask me in a week and say, like, James, have you listened to it? That's what you got to do. Because I am useless like that. I've been wanting to listen to the Wolfpack pod. Captaincy update on Shearer. New big three. 29% Shearer, 70% Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, 10% Fowler. And it's a battle of the official tips. FPL tactician Redbrough 4%, Simple Gold Carnu 4%. They do like to big themselves up, don't they? I mean, they're allowed to. Oh, excuse me. Get off my screen. I'm having a dangerous day with screens here, guys. What was we talking about? Well, yeah, Shearer's fit. He's staying on. I can't remember what I was talking about now. I'm done for sleep. I think that's what it is. Feely M2, Shearer's a goner. Ha, for fuck's sake. No, I think the key is what FPL Hitman said afterwards. It's all too quiet today. They had to fill up the airways with some stuff, didn't they? What have we had? 3, 5, 6 goals in 9 games in half hour. This isn't the champ man I've come to know and love. That's the problem here, guys. Yeah, I really can't remember what I was saying. No clue. By the way, what I do remember, on the upcoming fixtures, you'll see it if you look at your screen now. Typical, it's gone off now, said that. I kind of mentioned this again at half time. We've only put the doubles up there that we know are going to happen. I suggest come Saturday we'll know of more, but at the moment we only know of a few. Goal at Upton Park. New manager bounce for West Ham. They lead Liverpool. Joe Cole is the goal scorer. Laurent Courtois with the assist. West Ham lead Liverpool 1-0. Oh, Andrew Martin said you were talking about the Wolf pod, James. Thanks. Fucking hell. I'm going to really struggle Saturday week, aren't I? Stephen Abbott says, Ron Mills says, James, you got amnesia this week. Yeah, I'm struggling. Yeah, I've been wanting to listen to the Wolf pod since it was released on Monday. And I didn't manage to listen to it till 6 o'clock today. I was DMing with Luke from Scout about his videos on Sunday. I haven't got round to even watching them. The quiz that I did today took some serious research to put together. Did a bit of researching for the gambling football as well. It was a pod Monday, been editing, getting ready for this, etc. Little one, etc. Work wife. Shh, don't tell her that. Real wife, working. yeah, so it's been a busy few days. We've just not been able to catch up on much stuff. I think Luke's videos, to be fair, are not something that was specific for this game week. I don't think it's something you can go back to. And if Luke, if you're in the chat, I will catch up on them, mate, for sure, because they're brilliant knowledge. There was a little bit me as well, that those who know me from the Planet FPL podcast, I am one to be very independent in terms of my selection decision making. So I long decided on my wildcard before I listened to the Wolf pod on that. Very good effort, guys. And Josh Paxman I met at the Always Cheating gig back in March before the lockdown. Really good performance, mate. Very, very well done. Information on the Joe Cole goal for West Ham. West Ham have started excellently in McLeish's first game and get the lead they deserve. Courtois beats Biscan before playing it into the box. Cole collects near post, shimmies on the ball and then plants his finish past Dudek. Southampton have an equaliser at St Mary's. He plays every week, but he doesn't return. That's the talk of the town. But Marion Pahars has today. He is drawn at Southampton level at home to Derby. Southampton level against Derby 1-1. Derby for me, for anybody who's wildcarding or is about to wildcard, without further knowledge, in my opinion, are just about the worst team to attack of all 20. I wouldn't go near their assets at the moment. Mainly because everybody's got it, seems to get it stuck in their head that they think that they're going to have a double game week 15, completely forgetting that they're also meant to play Leeds. But there you go. That's a different matter. Fixtures aren't particularly pretty either. Calm, yeah, but he's not great defensively for him too. I don't know what it's about, but yeah, we'll all agree with it. Is a penalty to tell you about at St James's Park. That's all I know. All I know. At Stone Wall, apparently. I don't know if we can potentially expect a red card incoming here or not. But yes, there is a penalty at St James's Park. Obviously, we know it will be Shearer if it's Newcastle. And I guess we can assume Salakovic if it's Tottenham, I would have thought. Salakovic obviously missed the penalty. Was it a fixture against Blackburn? I should know. I was there, weren't I? Lots of chat comment back to that Southampton equaliser was very interesting. Waiting information on who this penalty has gone to. I've got no commentaries, so I don't know who would be involved in the assist or anything. I've got no information. Penalties to Spurs. Rebrov receives Anderson's delivery but is attended to by Sapuntis on his debut. The Greek debutant is a nightmare as he bundles the Ukrainian to the floor. Not a great start for him in black and white. Salakovic to take it. Not going to miss again, is he? I wanted him in. I wanted him in. I'm sure everybody's thinking the same at the moment. But, yeah. Let me see if I can get that Swedish stream going. Hang on a sec. Hold on. Can't, Stefan. You can do it, mate. Ah, we got it. We got it. Scored. Stefan Salakovic has put Spurs in front. Second assist for Sergei Rebrov. Spurs lead at St James's. Go on up, boys. We ain't even that bad away from home, you know that. We're not even that bad. We're scoring goals anyway, so that gives us a chance, doesn't it? So much better seeing them captaincy stats with not Van Nistelrooy at the top of it for the last time this season. Says the man who's going straight back to him with no hesitation next week, no matter what, unless he's injured, by the way. Constantine says, yes, late risers, Salah. John Jacobson's happy. Late risers happy. Optimus, terrible week. It's 35 minutes gone. James pumping again, a fair play at late risers. Some Spurs up that. Clean sheet wipeout, get in. Everton's clean sheet has gone. Henrik Pedersen is the goal scorer for Bolton. Assist goes to Neil Maddison. Everton clean sheet gone. Brian Newell, I bought Selakovic in for Beckham. What is happening? Sounds like a good transfer, mate. Aritrova, so Rebrov with another assist. Alan Daddy, yada. I don't know what that means, but it's probably a good thing, or it might be a bad thing. I don't know. Cal's got Rebrov and Selakovic. Pep talk. I'm with you, Optimus. It hasn't started well. Think about it, guys. Who has it started well for? So we've got a West Ham goal. Goal for Pahars and Ravanelli. Rebrov's got a couple of returns. Great. Besadas got nearly no ownership. Little bit of ownership for Teddy. Ah, of course. You've all got fucking Harpole Singh, ain't ya? Come on, guys. Alright, so Hasselbank captaincy. Yeah. 75% of us or so haven't got it. Right. Oh, penalty to Everton to tell you about. Before I do that, some information on some goals to tell you about. Firstly, that goal at Everton. Straightforward goal by Henrik Pedersen. Madison crosses the ball into the box for the big Dane. And he's wide, isn't he? And he heads it straight back where it came from past Paul Gerrard. Woodwork's been hit up Upton Park. So unlucky Danny Murphy. Again being asked to play out of position. Murphy does superbly. Taking Biscan's headed pass on the bounce and firing a great effort against the post. So close to a quick equaliser for the Reds. Information on the penalty. Rosiński gets free in the box and Rob Lee's tackle on him is extremely clumsy. You hesitate and point straight to the spot. Scott Gemmell steps up, which shouldn't be a surprise. He took one against Chelsea, I think. And on the Selakovic goal, it was never in doubt, was it? Which hits his penalty perfectly and beats Shea Given beautifully. Spurs lead again. Goal scored at Goodison Park by Scott Gemmell. Assist obviously there goes to Thomas Rosiński, who was fouled by Robert Lee in the build-up to that penalty. So Everton on level terms against Bolton. Scott Gemmell with the equaliser from the spot. Thomas Rosiński with the assist. Cut the penalties in a row there. You know how this game works sometimes, don't you guys? Stephen Hammer, Pedersen first return. Late riser Rebrov in form then. Gary Smith, Googled seller, didn't play for Spurs, so did they buy him? Yes, Gary, yes. From some Swedish team for a packet of crisps. Brian Newell, Pedersen's brought him back down to earth. Ram, never hated bites of data like I did Selakovic. Had him for all the blanks, sold him for all his returns, proper troll. Kind of had similar, almost. I did have a couple of returns of him as well. The game exists at Portman Road. Great chances. Both sides missed sitters in a game of few chances. First of all, Schmeichel spills Koeman's shot into the path of Pablo, and he somehow puts it wide before Mellberg incredibly heads wide from Staunton's corner when it looked easier to score. But we've also had no updates from Highbury or the Valley, to my knowledge, either. Do we have an update from Charlton on something? I don't think we've gone to Arsenal at all, have we? Ah, okay. We're coming up to the 40-minute mark, guys. Some funky fucking beer. FBL captain, we got nearly 5,000 in the stream, have we? Alan Shearer's day is finished, genuinely. Substitution at St James's, this is as close as you get to a disaster for Newcastle. They lost Solana and Robert to injury midweek, and now Alan Shearer is signalling he needs to come off after that earlier knock. Aaron Hughes coming on in his place, obviously. Well, as I said, no... oh, yeah, that's mad, isn't it? I generally have 6,000 people watching the stream, apparently, at the moment. What's all that about? There is not 6,000 people watching my stream. I'm absolutely certain that is incorrect data. There is no way in the world that that is the case, guys. So, Shearer off. Oh well, captaincy bust. It will make the -4 that I was going to do to Kevin Phillips next week a little bit easier to bear. West Ham have scored again at Upton Park against Liverpool. Joe Cole is the goal scorer. Rigobert Song with the assist. Joe Cole not playing an attacking mid position this week, but he has scored both the goals. West Ham lead Liverpool 2-0. Manager bounce. Liverpool. Bad times, eh? It's going to be a good wildcard, this, isn't it? Ramsey, I think the YouTube algorithm is promoting your stream, James. Yeah, okay, cool. Those are, I mean, you can tell, right? There's nobody in the chat who isn't normally in the chat, so it's just incorrect data, I should imagine. There's 7,000 in now. Captain's absolutely right. Yeah, take a little picture of that. someone take a screenshot. Right, I'm just put on Twitter and keep bugging Suj and go, Suj, look how many viewers James has got. Done some major promo today. Think he should do. Think he needs another pay rise, mate. Let's have a look at that. 7,500 viewers. What a state. Mario Stanic playing with a small knot today. Looks like he's in some discomfort and is coming off now for Graham Lasso, who is believed to be on the verge of a move to Blackburn with a farewell appearance. Talking of that, and talking of transfers, I can exclusively reveal that Benito Carboni is at Stamford Bridge. The suggestion is, however, though, that Fulham have put in a late bid for him. So he's at the game, but I don't know who he's signing for, is essentially the news on that. So he could be joining Fulham. Southampton lead Derby 2-1. Gavin Ray, the goal scorer, and there's assist for Kevin Davis. Yeah, someone send Sush that shit. Is it just because I said how many subscribers I have? Oh, brilliant. Brian Yule, can we get 10,000 viewers by half time? I mean, what is that all about? It's ridiculous. They're not real viewers. It's like some fucking robot or something. Obviously, they're going up by like 100 by every 10 seconds. Gavin Ray has put Southampton in front at St Mary's. I can't remember if I said that or not. Kevin Davis with the assist. I can't remember. I'm so fucking tired. John Jacobson, any early guesses for this week's game week average? 20. Petrescu plays a nice ball in for Kevin Davis. He can't get a shot away, but he can find Gavin Ray in space, and he fires his first goal for his new club. The Saints have turned it round. Where's Svensson? Where's BT? Woodwork has been hit at Filbert Street. Brilliant game here. Plenty of chances, misses and saves. Joby McAnuff now goes close, receiving the ball from Impey and striking a great effort against the base of the post. Fine effort from the Leicester teenager. So how he is, proper baby. I wonder who Suj paid. Yeah, that's pretty mad. How many viewers? Someone get hold of Suj, tell him get in the chat now. We might be under attack. Goal at Highbury for Arsenal. They were thinking they're taking him off, but they didn't. Tikhonov has given Arsenal the lead. Assist goes to Francis Jeffers. Tikhonov with the goal for Arsenal. Francis Jeffers with the assist. Yeah, look, they're all coming in from overseas. Love it. Barry Thomas Trigg, are all our bank accounts getting emptied? Well, unfortunately, we're not making money on YouTube at the moment, so they can take whatever they want. They'll find about 3p by accident when we've left monetization on for a video. Andre says, Tikhonov, finally. John Yakkerson, proper YouTuber now, James, be rolling in the cash and the hookers. I think the hookers might be who's watching, mate. Arsenal have been on top of this quiet game. Now they lead. It's great work by Jeffers, who beats Tobe before bringing the ball to the byline. He cuts back Tikhonov, whose shot goes through Till's legs and into the net. FPL captain's own 3 goals, 4 assists now for Jeffers. DJ Music Case, late riser, is killing it as usual. Gary Shepherd says, yes, Franny. Can you not misspell that, Gary, with the amount of people in this stream, mate? Which I could just say has just passed 10,000 viewers live. Flapjacks is about to hit 1 million. If you do have like your bank account open on your computer at the moment or something, I would probably shut it down. Anurag says half-time, basically a no returns yet. Goal at Filbert Street. Clean sheet for Leeds is still intact. Michael Bridges, the goal scorer. Lee Bowyer with the assist. That's why they picked Michael Bridges. FPL captain stopped the clock. Very well done. We are not confirmed at half-time as yet. But Leeds obviously now lead 2-0 at Leicester. So the only game that remains goalless is Charlton Blackburn at the Valley. As usual, Blackburn very exciting on the road. Arsenal, Chelsea, Leeds and West Ham still have their clean sheets intact, as well as obviously Ipswich and Aston Villa is also goalless. Excuse me. FPL Chancellor Keys and Gray are on the phone asking James how to get more views. I reckon, right? FPL captain's such a don. If you go and put Sky Sports main event on right now, you'll just see my ugly fucking mug swearing at the British public. Information on the Bridges goal. More brilliant play by Bowyer, who plays a perfect long pass towards Bridges. Flowers comes for it, but finds himself in no man's land. Ian Walker will be back in goal next week. And Bridges rises highest to nod past him. Leeds will be delighted to be 2 up here before half time. Gary Shepherd saying you'll be presented with a platinum disc suit, James. It's definitely a glitch, guys. It's definitely a glitch. Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, I've got 750% more viewers than people actually playing the game. Oh, actually, it's a lot more than that. It's now 1,000% more. Yeah, cool. As you are. As long as the stream holds up okay, I don't care. I really don't care. That's all that matters to me. Right, I did say, halftime report cards. 16% bought Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, very good tick. 14% bought Scowcroft and Fowler, could do better. 13% bought Shearer, see me. Yeah, but I'm in the 13 and the 14%, so what does that mean for me? Right, bit of chip strategy, guys, because I did promise I'd cover it off a little bit. I think I'm seeing some, just from chats that I'm in, tweets I'm seeing, I don't know if people are ill-informed a little bit. First thing you need to be doing, as been said 1,000 times on this stream, is make sure you listen to the guys on the Sunday night. And, of course, you know, keep the notifications off while we're doing the stream. But otherwise, you know, you need to follow and hang on to every... You can't afford to miss any tweets that these guys are sending out outside of actual game time, basically, in terms of injury updates. So if you're just looking through, you will miss something. I'm telling you, I had to go back and look several times over to try and find the League Cup draw, because it was kind of hidden within a thread, basically. So you will miss things, absolutely. You know, if you ain't got tweets and replies on when you're looking through their tweets, you probably won't find them. If you've got notifications on, you will never miss a tweet, and that's what I say. As the guys would say, turn notifications off when you're in the stream, so you're not creating spoilers for the people enjoying the experience of the stream. Otherwise, you should have notifications on for the guys. Championship Manager account just popped in. James, here, just popping into the chat. Why have we suddenly just got 10,000 requests for sheets? As if they'd know where to find you, mate. So anyway, just want to give you a bit of an update in terms of what you need to know. So what's factual right now is in terms of, if bottom right hand corner, during the course of the stream, you can see it spins around teams' next 4 fixtures. Now, the only doubles you will see there are of 6 teams that we know right now will have a double game week. And they are Blackburn, Leicester, Aston Villa and Southampton in game week 15, and Manchester United and Middlesbrough in game week 17. I think, for example, there are a lot of people who think Liverpool's double game week for some reason in game week 16 and game week 17 is locked in. That's not the case at all. Certainly there will be more doubles in game week 15. It would take an incredible freak of results for there to be no more doubles, but it does remain a possibility. I would suggest it's more likely we have 12 teams doubling than only the current 4 that we do have. So those expecting doubles and looking to bench boost in game week 15, there will be more doubles. What I think people don't understand is how we get there. Now, I tried to explain Monday night, but you know me when I'm on the podcast with Suj, I tend to go through things very quickly at 100 mile an hour. So I try and do this quite slowly. So Derby and Charlton currently could go into the midweek of double game week 15. Now, the first thing that's important to note on that is Leeds are due to play Derby on the weekend of that game week. So if Derby and Charlton does end up the midweek and the Leeds games get postponed because of Australia, then Charlton will have a double game week. Derby County will just have a single game week fixture, which will actually happen to be in the second part of the fixtures. So you could, for example, have 9 fixtures in part 1 of game week 15, so next Wednesday, and you could even have 6 fixtures on the Thursday, for example. So how do we get to Derby and Charlton playing that midweek match? So there's one occurrence which we could find out tomorrow, which means that it will happen, and that is if Preston beat Derby County in the League Cup. If that's the case, Derby are out, and so with Charlton Athletic also out, that game can go into that midweek. But just remember, if Leeds Derby is postponed, it's only a double for Charlton. Now, if Derby beat Preston, it doesn't mean that it won't happen. There is a second possibility, which we would find out after game week 14. That means it could happen. If Preston beat Derby, we'll know about it tomorrow, and then we'll know about that game. But if Derby win, and you obviously would make them favourites, then there's another chance that could lead to that game happening in game week 15. And that's if Ipswich beat Manchester City, which we would only find out after game week 14. Obviously, Man City, as you in the stream will know, a Division 1 club at the moment, which is the second tier at this stage. And the reason that it will push it back is essentially if Ipswich go through, because Ipswich are in Europe, it means it will push, rather than it being Derby Man City, it will push the Derby fixture with Charlton into game week 15. So rather than Derby and Ipswich can't go into 15 because Ipswich will be in Europe. So it means that Derby and Charlton league fixture can go there instead. Does that make sense? Yeah, that definitely needs a retweet from the Championship Manager account there. Yeah, everyone should go and retweet their latest tweet. Popular game you got there, boy, isn't it? So, in essence, Derby Charlton will be in game week 15 if Preston beat Derby tomorrow. Otherwise, we could find out after game week 14 if Ipswich beat Manchester City. And again, the reason that will go in there is because the Derby Ipswich Cup game can't be played that midweek because Ipswich will be playing in Europe. Therefore, it would allow the Derby Charlton fixture to be played in 15. So all you need is Preston or Ipswich to win the cup, basically. But again, Ipswich will be after the 14 deadline. Preston we could find out tomorrow. On Bolton and Middlesbrough, we won't get the answer on that until after the game week 14 fixtures are played. The only way that will go ahead in game week 15 is if Manchester United beat Middlesbrough. Personally, I'd say a 60% Man United, 40% Middlesbrough. It's by no means a foregone conclusion. It's a League Cup game. Man United probably will rotate some players. A, because it's Middlesbrough, and in the simulation, in spite of their league position, as Luke had pointed out to us last week, they have a low reputation. And it's a League Cup game as well. So very likely to rest. So there's no information to confirm if Bolton and Middlesbrough will happen until we are preparing for 15. On Tottenham and Everton. If West Ham beat Everton in the League Cup, and that is this game week, we should know tomorrow if Tottenham and Everton will be a double in game week 15. If Everton win, there is a second chance for that, and that's if Leeds beat Chelsea. And that Leeds and Chelsea fixture is after game week 14. So if West Ham win, we'll know before 14. If they don't, we will obviously find out pre-game week 15 if Tottenham and Everton is a double or not. Again, it's because of involvement in Europe. So essentially, if the quarter-final is Leeds against Everton, that can't be played in game week 15 because Leeds will be playing in the UEFA Cup. Therefore, it would allow the Tottenham and Everton fixture to go into that game week. One of the things you'll obviously notice from these doubles is anyone in Europe can't have them. That's the reason why, in the case of Ipswich and Leeds, they get involved in these respective ties. Sunderland-Chelsea hinges on one thing and one thing solely, and that is also if Leeds beat Chelsea. So if Leeds beat Chelsea and they're at home to Chelsea in the League Cup, then we know that definitely Tottenham and Everton and Sunderland and Chelsea will both be doubles. On the Liverpool double game weeks, and this will be particularly important for those who are intending to wildcard 14 and free hit 15, we will have the information prior to game week 14. Game week 16, they're due to have a double against Fulham. That will go on if Hull beat Fulham in the League Cup. I believe that ties at Hull, but obviously Fulham would be favourites. The only way that the Tottenham and Liverpool game in game week 17 will go ahead is if Walsall win at Anfield in the League Cup. Now, the only thing just to say on the Walsall game is, one of the things I've noticed in the Championship Manager streams is the guys who asked for the old Division 1 table, Walsall are currently in and around the playoff places. So it's not Liverpool against a third division Walsall, it is Liverpool against the Walsall who are hovering around the playoff places in what would now be the Championship. So obviously Liverpool strong favourites, playing at home, you would expect them to win, but it's not the foregone conclusion that it may look on paper. So we will know in 24 hours if Liverpool will have no doubles, one double or two doubles. And that's why ideally I would not have wildcarded this week, but I felt I had absolutely no choice. The one thing I would say on Liverpool is if those doubles don't happen, they do still have some absolutely terrific fixtures, which I'll just take you through briefly, because they do have a great set of fixtures. So obviously they're losing at West Ham at the moment, but then it's at home to Leicester. Game week 15 I would free hit, so they're away to Charlton, it wouldn't matter for me. And then it's Derby at home, Southampton away, Leeds at home, Blackburn away, Sunderland at home, Fulham away, Arsenal at home, Manchester United at home goes all the way up to game week 23. So good solid runs anyway. So if they've got no doubles, you know, I'll certainly probably remove Steven Gerrard, for example, and probably Robbie Fowler as well. But in no rush to. I'm never ready for it if the doubles happen. And if they don't, then they don't. They've still got decent fixtures. That's the route and path I'm on. Second halves are underway. At Filbert Street, Leeds have lost Harpal Singh, who was brilliant first half, to injury. He is replaced at half-time by Robbie Keane. Change at St James's 2. Sapunsis' debut ends early. Gary Speed is on instead. Wonder if us Shearer captainers can get 6 points out of him. Some cheeky bonus. Any chance? Brian, you're saying this is a very polite raid. See, look, I've got the viewers I've got now, as far as I can see, are 217. I just think it was a glitch, guys. There definitely is not 10,000 people just turned up and I started talking about chip strategy and they fucking disappeared. Mind you, that was a good way to get rid of them, wasn't it? I make it as 226 people watching the stream now, which is still a brilliant number. Yeah, highly amusing in any case. Just check your bank accounts and shit, guys. That's all I'm saying. Right, second half's back underway. I hope that helps in terms of clarity on how we're going to get to those doubles. I think for many of you probably already made your decisions on ship strategies. I think for those intending to wildcard and then for 14 and free hit 15, obviously what happens in the whole Fulham and Liverpool Walsall League Cup games could certainly have an impact in terms of what you're doing there. I would have preferred obviously to be in that position to know whether I'm going to load up on Liverpool or just have a little bit of coverage. So I certainly would have gone firmer on Spurs if I'd known Liverpool weren't going to have doubles. But I'm happy with the position I've got on it either way. The main thing for me, not free hitting in game, not building towards game week 15, is I hate all the club's fixtures afterwards, all of them. And it's also very difficult to plan to it. As you've seen from what I've highlighted there, a lot of the information, you know, Sunderland and Chelsea physically can't get information till game week 14 has passed. Same with Bolton and Middlesbrough in terms of whether that tie will happen. So, yeah, Woodwork's been hit again at Filbert Street. Leicester have a free kick on the edge of the box. Dennis Wise steps up, strikes a fine effort, which hits the upright and rebounds away. This is a man in form. Ian Hart's keeping a clean sheet today, isn't he? With nobody owning him. Flapjack Ferrell, they're having like some little love triangle going on in the chat. Thank you, Nurse Shakhtar. I'll take great pleasure in that comment, considering it's quite a quiet game week, really. Ian McAllister saying yes, Keno. He ain't done shit yet. Might be a 1 pointer, mate. Brian Newell saying keen on for the second half. Let's go. Thank you, Andy Martin. Andy has the scoop. Benito Carboni has left Bradford City. He is signed for Chelsea. Benito Carboni is now a Chelsea player. He will be available in the game as a 6.5 million midfielder. There's one potentially for your game week 15 free hitters. I would suggest he's likely to go straight into that team. It's an interesting one. Same price as Zola, that, isn't it? MTWSN says he thinks he's on 3 points at the moment. Great so far. Yeah, it's not going so well over here either, mate. It's really not. Sorry, Andy, I got put off by the thousands and thousands of James fans watching the Championship Manager stream. I'm interested to see how many people at the end, when it's finished, says I've watched it, because I will laugh my tits off if it says 15,000 views. Scarlett, I have Martin playing, so I won't mind that clean sheet. You've just made the cardinal sin. Leeds away from home, mate. And you put it in the chat. Mutsuan, think I'm on free. Oh, yeah, said that. James Pompey again. I need Robbie Keane to get a hat-trick to make up for my Shearer triple captain. I'll just be pleased he's on the pitch, mate, and maybe you'll get a goal or two. Mark Dorney says, Kane Carboni play as a wing-back. Listen, it's a computer game. Anybody can do anything, but I wouldn't have thought that would be part of the plan. FPL Phil, I hope Charlton signed Del Piero. You keep hoping, mate. FPL Chancellor says, Carboni at Chelsea would have been fascinating in real life. Good little player, Carboni. Good little player. Goal at St Mary's. It's Rory Delap. Southampton lead 3-1 against Derby County. Rory Delap, the goal scorer. FPL Graphics saying, imagine taking a hit for Dudek. Cheers, Andy, pal. Sorry, I had forgot. My intention was to remember at some point, but yeah, I'm just not really with it today. Ash Carbonian midfielder forward. Yeah, I did say midfielder, 6.5 million. He's in the game. He's like a centre mid or an attacking midfield centre, I believe. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong, no doubt. FPL Sergeant, if Carboni plays where Dallabona plays, he's good value. Yeah, I suggest it's another rotation problem potentially, and it could be my instinct on what I'm hearing is it could be another Selakovic situation. So I think it's one you need to see personally. Saints extend their lead and it's poor from Mark Poom. Bahars hits a hopeful looking shot. The Estonian lets his save bounce back into the box and Delap bundles home. The Saints now replace Dodd with fellow legend Francis Benali. DJ Music says, was it a throw in the Delap goal? Could have been, mate. Ian McAllister, is not how you spell Petrescu. Simon Dowling questioning Carboni to replace Zola. Pet Talk scored direct from a throw-in. All on the throw-in stuff. Scarlett, you saw that I did the throw-in thing. You don't have to put it all in the chat as well. Gary Shepherd, the lap of honour. Joe Finley Batter, Derby throwing in the towel. Is that an intentional throwing in thing? FPL Ferrell, how's Corf's drinking game going? Yeah, if you want a drinking game, although please drink responsibly, go and check out Corf FPL had a James Championship Manager stream idea in terms of a drinking game. Substitutions to tell you about at Portman Road. Dull or fair here, both sides make a change. Magilton is on for Kumas. Ipswich look for midfield spark, while Aston Villa bring on Juan Pablo Engel for Dion Dublin as they seek a goal. Bad times. Bricky's pished. Rory Delap, I almost picked him, said no one ever, says Cole Coop. Brad Lewandon, any return would be nice. John D says, think Carboni's attacking midfield, forward, right, centre. Bloody hell, my wildcard's looking like a disaster. Oh, it's all gone pizza. Flapjack, I've almost run out of beer nuts thanks to Corf. Colm Delappery. Oh, mate, get your coat. Seriously. Flapjack said, can barely see the screen. Logged into YouTube 15,000 times by mistake. Clean sheet wipeout for Chelsea. Goal for Fulham. Stolzers the scorer. Legwinski the assister. I'm sure there are people in that chat who have Stolzers. Potentially those prepping of wildcard packs prepping towards that possible Fulham double game week of 16. A few chats on Kumash, yeah, Joe Finney Bada, Retravo, Andy G, the golf pro. Yeah, that's a could have at least waited for the fucking 3-pointer, couldn't they? Simon Danzola will likely see his minutes reduced late season. Yeah, I think that's the opinion of him and obviously Teddy Sheringham as well. Mark Dorney, Kumas and Stanic 1-pointers. Heno84 bollocks to punt on Kumas captain. That was a very, very differential call. Brave, unlucky. Andy G, the golf pro. Thank God for Teddy and Jimmy. It's going mental at St Mary's again. Ravanelli's got another. Derby have got a goal back. Assist for Craig Burley of pre-season heroics. Southampton now lead Derby 3-2. Ravanelli has his second. Craig Burley with the assist. Rory Cartwright brought Shearer in and captained him. I can only apologise. James Luke, etc. As we've had 15,000 viewers in, if there's anyone else knocking about who's new, just remember please this stream is on a 30-second delay, and obviously make sure that you are live in the chat. Please turn notifications off of the official account. No spoilers please. Thank you. Stephen Hamilton, really need to turn a luckier, don't we all? Mac Lewis Barmorte, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Might have just gone with Phillips. That was the final decision of the wild card. And I decided, looking at Shearer, that he was the best captaincy. Here's the thing as well, though. I made the right choice. I stand by that. And that's why I'm always okay with those when those things happen. Derby haul themselves straight back into it. Burley plays a 1-2 with Christie before curling it into the near post, where Ravanelli rises above Benali to head home. Southampton replace Murray and Sessum and Draper. Svensson's off. That'll please a lot of you. On Stolz's goal at Stamford Bridge, good play by Barmorte, who gathers up a clearance and plays a beautiful ball in for Legwinski, who lays it off first time for Stolz's. The Latvian takes a tidy touch and then buries the ball past Carlo Cudicini. Fulham back in it. Excuse me. Alan Cronin says, my Gravison captain punt not looking as smart as I thought it was at 5 PM. We still got 35 minutes to go, guys. No problem, Simon. It's all good, mate. No problem. We're all friends in here, mate. Brendan Davis, I made that mistake last week, beefing on everyone. It's a disallowed goal at Stamford Bridge, but I come on to that because it's substitutions at Upton Park. I've lost another one. West Ham are looking to shut up shop here, and they're doing it pretty well so far. Courtois has picked up an injury and has come off for Paul Kitson. I presume that's Kamara into a wide position. Liverpool have brought off Steven Gerrard and Dietmar Hamann for Vegard, Hegem and Stephen Wright as they look for a way back in it. Fuck me, West Ham are going to win. Alistair, you'll hate it when James announces Hippier's goal in a minute's time. I definitely will be quite happy about that as an owner who's looking at 1 pointer there from 4 points from my 3 Liverpool players at the moment. Jesus Christ. Gary Shepherd says, James, would you rather have 200 or 20,000 viewers? Fuck do you think, Gary? Listen, when I tell you about my Patreon plans over the next 10 days or so, you'll know what the answer to that question is. On the disallowed goal at Stamford Bridge, it's all money raising, by the way, at the moment. I'm not taking anyone's money till football's back. But yes, there are plans I will share with you soon. Another disallowed goal by Chelsea. You are unlucky not to have more than 2 here. Zola has the ball in the net this time after collecting Morris's pass, but he was fractionally offside and it's ruled out. Also substitutions at Goodison. How many more can I lose? Abel Xavier has been limping the last few minutes but can't continue. Unsworth on his place. Per Franson has come on for Paul Warhurst for Bolton. Very quiet game here. Interestingly, it's Franson that's on for Bolton and not Michael Ricketts. Joe Finley Badder, that's 4 of mine off before 60 minutes. Just sub them all off now, game. For fuck's sake. Where they at? Where they at? Oh, here you go. 59th minute at Highbury. Early changes here for both sides. Gavin McCann comes off for Peters. Fuck's Peters for Sunderland. While Arsenal bring off Freddie Ljungberg for Robert Pires. Can the Frenchman offer Arsenal more? Tikhonov has gone in the book for the Gunners. Robert Pires, 2% in the top 300 of captain him, 3% overall, is on for Arsenal. Let us know, guys, if you're a Pires captain or in the chat. Just put Captain Pires, Vice, whoever your Vice would have been. I'm interested because I'm a sadistic bastard like that. Simon Dowling, Liverpool looked like the 3rd best team. So many injuries. Losing at West Ham like fucking 20th. Scala, Vision, no returns, but somehow still have 11 players on the pitch. I have no returns. I have 8 players left on the pitch. Including captain gone, by the way, I should add. Oh, DJ Music Case, yeah, bad times, yeah. Yeah, she was long gone, mate. Sorry, mate. Yeah, he really did go off, mate. About 37 minutes. Poor fella's gone down the shower. He's banged back in the chat and gone, come on, Shearer. Gary Shepherd said in response to would you rather have 200 or 20,000 viewers, thought so, James, just thought it might change the community dynamic with loads more viewers. I will never forget who the people are, mate. The people that have supported us, been at the live shows, been with us, you know, when we had 50. I think I was looking at some numbers today. I think it's the 9th podcast we did. Is the lowest viewed. It's got like 54 downloads or something. And I think, I don't mind sharing this, the one we put on the 1st of March had 6,000. So yeah, it's the disparity of where we were and where we were going to, basically. But you know me, right? You don't even have to provide good content if you're a good person in the community and you chat and etc. You don't need FPL in your handle to get a follow off me. No probs. You just got to interact. That's it. And people who regularly support us. There's some people who religiously retweet like the podcast, and I've never had a chat with them, so they get a follow off me. Basically, now you know what to do to get that follow. Stephen Hampton, Pedersen's still my only return. You're right. Gary Smith, why is Man United game postponed? You lot are all on drugs tonight, aren't you? Or am I living in an alternate universe? PP stands for postponed, obviously. Come on, man. Update from the Valley. Blackburn away produced the worst games of football with their setup. Little to report here, but plenty of subs. Blackburn replaced Hignett and Flitcroft with Grayson and Dunn before 60 minutes. Fortune is also just on for Shitu on 60. So Shitu, clean sheet, locked in. I just wish I'd gone Shitu now rather than Rufus. It's 4.0. I should have. I could have done that, I suppose. Prefer the idea of Rufus getting the bonus if they keep the clean sheet. Excuse me. Patrick Lawson saying happy 8th anniversary of the greatest Premier League moment of all time. I can't argue that, Patrick, as a neutral. Big moment at Portman Road. Tarico fires in an excellent free kick, but Schmeichel was equal to it. Ipswich almost ahead there, so Tarico taking a direct free kick from outside the box. Tractor Boys replaced Matt Holland, who I'm shocked started. What are you fucking adding that shit for? Oh, it was bad fitness, was it? I didn't take much notice of Matt Holland. With Roycer, so Roycer on for Holland, while Villa replaced George Boateng with J. Lloyd Samuel. That's timed at 64 minutes. FBL Blade. Jason, you're the only man that can save me. Tomo, mate, I've told you. Christopher C. Need Robbie Keane to stay on the bench for Radaby's clean. Ah, Chris. What's fucking wrong with you lot? Straight underneath Brian Yule. Yeah, Keane's on. Matthew Milton Perez blocking Stossers on my bench. Goal at the Valley. Sean Bartlett has put Charlton ahead. Assist goes to Luke Young. Charlton lead Blackburn 1-0. Sorry, Tomo. Sean Bartlett with the goal and assist goes to Luke Young. James Street saying, get in there, shitty. Be careful with your choice of words there, pal. Peptook saying, I'm having a shitty kind of game week. I think the majority of people are. But we're all in it together, right? I mean, the free hit has got to be interesting, isn't it? Yeah. Remember, like, for Shearer as well, was in most captains. So, so many in the same boat, right? Leo Lumley, mad news about Dele Alli. I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't know what the fuck that is, but you're talking about one of my players here, so I shall go and have a look. Where they at? Where they at? Jesus Christ. I think someone's put that in the chat as well. Tottenham midfielder Dele Alli was robbed at knife point after burglars broke into his North London home in the early hours of Wednesday morning. Nice world we live in, isn't it? For fuck's sake. Dele, much love, mate. I know you're one of the 20,000 we were watching a little while ago. I hope you're feeling better, mate. Much love. Excellent period of sustained pressure by Charlton ends in them getting the breakthrough. Ultimately, Luke Young plays it ahead of Bartlett's run. He runs onto it and volleys past Kelly. Blackburn replace Martin Taylor with Brooms. Substitutions at Goodison Park. Another change of pace as each team looks to take this game by the scruff of the neck. That's not something they've done so far at all. Everton replaced Steve Watson with Nicholas Alexanderson, while Bolton send on Big Michael Ricketts for little Rod Wallace. Luke's in. Sir Paul. How you doing, pal? Yeah, he's Shearer captain as well. I know how you feel, mate. Yeah, Simon Down said Holland was injured recently. Yes, quite right. Gary Smith saying Wednesday morning question. It's Wednesday. You're right, Gary. DJ Music A should have just stuck with Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink as captain. Yeah, listen. At various points over the last 24 hours, I've had Redbroth captain. Seriously. Shearer captain, Fowler captain, Kanu captain. It's a red card at Upton Park, and it can only be Sammy Hippier or Robbie Fowler. I'm telling you that right now. But yes, there's a red card at Upton Park. That's all the information I have at the moment. We'll now cross live to Sujan Shah with the information from Upton Park. I wish. If only I had that set up, right? Drop sign. That I don't actually need. Yes, so red card at Upton Park, just waiting information on who's been sent off there. I would have gone to Suj, but he'd have missed it anyway. I saw him go off, but I thought it was a sub. Ben Odlin, is this just Premier League or do you do Scottish as well? I'm fine either way, I'm just a Hearts fan from Edinburgh. Ben, how can I say this nicely? Who's that that's been sent off? I've never heard of him. Erekpin has just come on for Ian Breckin. And he's broken. He's got himself sent off for shoving Nick Barmby. Not a brilliant debut for the 19-year-old, it's fair to say. Liverpool's way back in, question. Erekpen has been sent off for West Ham. Gary Smith said, you said Dele Alli knife point Wednesday morning. We're Tuesday. Gary, it's Wednesday, mate. Are you alright? And you can't even use the excuse that you're around the world because I know they're ahead. So like in Australia and that, it's Thursday now. So what are you on, mate? Cole Coote saying that this Izzy Rickpen paid for Swansea. I mean, I like to, you know me, I fancy myself my football knowledge, but that's a name that's gone well past me. I'll be very honest. Oh dear. Scarlett, here we go. Fowler captain versus 10 men. I hope you get it, mate. Yeah, it's been a good laugh tonight, even though actually the game's not been the best night of football, has it? Bloody hell. It is nice to see all them laughing emoji, guys. Good stuff. Optimus saying, come Fowler with 10 players. Make that happen goal, please. Andy G, the goal pro. Now time for Fowler to take advantage. All you lot putting that in the chat are just ruining my day. Ryan saying, indeed, it's already Thursday morning as I'm watching this. Yes, Dan, FPO Chancer. Patrick, this stream's mad. 99% of the people on it aren't real, and the remaining 1% appear to be on drugs. David Strom, what year is this? It's 2001, mate. Get with the programme. Gary Shepherd said, and Gary Captain Jeffers, the same as me now. I'm a little worried. Gary Smith said, sorry, my bad. Gary, you're a ledge, mate. Don't worry, it's all good. Don't call me out saying I'm saying the wrong day when I'm not. Made me think about it. I've had no sleep. Oh dear. Where's my beer? There it is. Fucking loopy fruit juice. It's not loopy fruit juice. It just tastes like fruit juice. Ryan, such an awfully quiet night so far, I must say. Just pleased my captain scored at least. That'll be the Jimmy, I presume. FBL Badger, everyone on drugs in this stream. Funniest moment of the season since the random Polish guy turned up a few games ago. I saw that back, Mark. There was a stream a few weeks ago. I happened to look back at, you know me, I like the sound of my own voice. So I watched back the end of it, and there was this guy while I was doing all the bonus points at the end. And he was just going, Polska, 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 about 10 times over. Just non-stop. And somebody, I don't know who it was, genius, put in the chat, that's not how you spell Poland. Substitution at St James's. Change for Spurs as Richard Johnson makes way for Simon Davies. Newcastle getting on top here. Spurs need to keep attacking. It's the only thing they're good at, you don't say. Newcastle definitely pushing for an equaliser now. Really entertainers, don't worry about it. But yeah, if we sit back, we're in trouble. 18 minutes to go. I want to know, so there's a few decent potential clean sheets knocking about. I'm thinking particularly here, sort of Arsenal and Ipswich, obviously. Someone out there's got to have 4 at least, I think. Who's got the most clean sheets left? I'd be interested to know. Gary Smith's saying best get some sleep. You do that, Gary. If you hang on for 20 minutes though, we'd love you to stay. Maybe just lay off saying silly things though. But it's all good. You've made everyone happy, mate. Think of it that way. You've made everybody happy. FBL Bricky says, when you say Suj in the chat, I've got to see off half the drink. I'm ready, Corf. Go. What you don't know, Bricky, is I'm just going to make that up again in 3 minutes time. Go get yourself another drink, princess. Joe Finley Badder, Auto Recluse. Ha ha ha. FBL Blade. Anyone else on 0 returns? Oh, FBL General's in the house. He's got 5. That's why he's in the house. He's got the fucking most. Hello, Mark. Hope you're well, mate. General's got 5. Parring's got 4. Joe Jenkins got 5. Mac 3. Hitman wants Bramble. Scudder's got 4. Hadaway 4. Nerf 4. Bricky's got 5. Fucking hell, you didn't all have to answer. I got the picture. Some of you got 5. Brilliant. I've got 3. Now I feel like I'm not winning still. There are 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 potential clean sheets still intact. The General's got triple Ipswich. I think Mark's General's in the top 10 as well, isn't he? Blinding. Watch them all disappear now. You know how FPL works. That's why you ain't put that in the chat before, mate. Good to see you here, pal. Matt Morrison, double Ipswich and Villa. TJ Musica's got 3. Gary's got Rufus and Barry. He doesn't know what game week it is, though. Ash has got Seaman, Cole Riders and Staunton. Yeah. FBL Irons, 5 clean sheet for some. Jesus, this isn't a good week for me. Shut up, blood. You're like number 2 in the world. Stop crying because you're not number 1. Who's it number 1? It's Perfect Pete, is it? Look at that league table at the moment. Liverpool down to 12th as it stands. Only 4 points above Southampton. About winning the title, getting awarded some voided shit. They're going down, aren't they? Sim that next year. Liverpool and Man City in Division 1. Update from Highbury. Arsenal have been the better team in this game, but Sunderland have restricted them well. In reality, Arsenal have created very little though, and this game seems to be petering out. Interesting. Nice. General's going on the Wolf Pod Monday. Brilliant. Where's my fucking invite, you prick? I'm joking. That's great. That's great that he's going on, mate. By the way, just a quick one on the 24-hour stream on the 23rd. I can't take any more guests for the simple reason, like if you've not had a time booked with me, or you're waiting for me to give you a time, I can't get you on the show basically. But everybody can come on that live stream. Where essentially we're going to have a couple of different sessions for like an hour, where basically we're going to open up Zoom for anybody. Call in and join us, and it'll be like a phone in. Come in, ask a question, fuck off, next. Unless nobody's waiting in the queue, in which case you can stay a bit longer. But yeah, everybody will have the opportunity to get involved in that 24-hour stream. I don't know how many guests I've got booked during the 24 hours, but it is a lot. I will happily say now as well that FPL Tactician, Simple Goal, James Alapran are all coming on for 25-minute slots during the day at some point as well. Gonna be a blast. Unfortunately, the bad news is none of it before the game week 16 deadline. And it's also, which I hadn't realised, game week 16 during the 24-hour live stream, when of course my comrade Suj will be with me, also happens to be Tottenham v West Ham, otherwise known in the FPL community as the Planet FPL Derby. How cool is that? Joe Finney-Bad, that means Sunderland 89th minute equaliser based on it being quiet Arsenal. David Strom, Kanu, please. Late riser 12. Oh, nice. Definitely expect a call from me, James. Crack on. I can't. By the way, Suj is going to be controlling it, right? So no shooting me if you don't get in. It's just Suj, right? And you know what he's like. It'll be. The problem is, I'm going to open a can at 2:30 in the afternoon, obviously. Suj opens a can at 8 o'clock. By midnight, it'll be looking like the fucking Undertaker taking his hat off, mate. It'd be all over the shop, mate. Oh dear. Yeah, you're all welcome to. I can't promise that you'll all get on, but yeah, you will have the opportunity. And for those who are around the world, obviously outside the UK, one of those times, I don't know the confirmed time yet, but one of those slots is going to be like 4 o'clock in the morning. So we could either have like Gary Smith and all the drunken UK guys, or we'll have some guys from like America and Australia, New Zealand, that kind of stuff. So everybody will have an opportunity, no matter where you are in the world, to get on at a time that should be convenient. FPL Blade saying, of games finished. Not till Jason Newell goes off, mate. Thank you, Andy Martin. Thank you, everybody else saying nice things. Appreciated. Substitution to say about St James's. Newcastle probing but not looking too threatening, although if one game will provide goals, it's this one. King is in the book for Spurs for tripping court. No punch this time. What are you talking about, mate? I didn't see no retrospective action for this alleged punch last week. And also, you promised you'd show the commentary of that on the stream from the Villa game. I don't remember seeing that. Nah, I never saw that. Chatting rubbish. Simon Davis has just replaced Richard Johnson. Now, you said that before. That's twice now. Simon Davis has been cloned into 2 people. So you're lying and now you're cloning people. We're going to fall out, you know. Gary Smith saying so many Garys on here. Oh God, the guy's proper confused. Wow, Simon Dowling, what did we all do? Oh yeah, Cold good shout. You want to see the Gary Only Fools and Horses episode? That's what you need before you go to bed tonight, Gary Smith. Gary Shepherd saying, I've heard that, Gary and Gary. Gary Robinson says James should do his best Gary off Fools and Horses impression. Got it. Fucking hell. Rename this stream the Gary stream. Simon Darling, did anyone else captain Gary too? Who'd you go for, Simon? Was it McAllister? Listen, everybody in this chat, if possible, as long as I'm not reading out other stuff or covering something, gets their comment read, except when you ask for it. That's the rule. Gary Smith, you are stating the obvious. That's the next comment in the chat. John Yaxham, next week's double game week is going to confuse Gary. Oh my God, yeah. Mark Hawkins. Clean sheets about, yeah. You're going to do that twice now, mate. Mate, can I stick some porn on and have a wank? Fuck off. FPL Peril, Gary for team of the week so far. There is a goal. And I've got an attack in return from the only player sitting on my bench. Goal scorer for Charlton Athletic is Graham Stewart. The assist is Klaus Jensen. Yes, for those commenting, I do think there's a possibility that Gary could make team of the week as it stands. Oh dear. 81 minutes for an attacking return. And from my squad of 15, I've got 12 players available this week, and that's the only one's returns on my bench. Ben Miller's in the chat. Ben's a brilliant lad. Afternoon, mate. Not playing Champ Man FPL, but great to see you're doing this. Do you have men around the grounds? No, mate. No, I might have Sudge around a few in game week 16. That's something we're potentially working on. We turned up to the live show in Manchester. True story, this. I'll come back to the Stewart goal in a minute. He's not scored again, just the commentary. Turn up to the live show. Goes to buy a drink at the bar. The barman goes, "You've got £20 behind the bar. This guy from America, Ben Miller, has paid 20 quid for you to have some drinks." I think it was 20 quid, Ben. It might have even been 20 quid for both of us. What a ledge you are, mate. Thank you. And that was enough to get me on my way, mate. Thank you. Graham Stewart on the sub for McAllister seals the win. Great play by Wilcox down the left, who feeds Jensen after a great run, and the Dane tees up Stewart to cap a fine team move. Young has just gone off injured for John Robinson. That makes me think that Charlton's clean sheet might not be locked. The fact that they've scored again and that change. Robinson, I presume, would go to right back. Listen, maybe Kinsella there. Excuse me. Substitution to tell you about Stamford Bridge. Change for each side. Dalabona comes off for Leon Knight, who I think scored a couple in the League Cup win in the week. While Fulham replaced Mal Bronk with Sean Davis. Chelsea should be out of sight, but Fulham have 7 minutes to dig out equaliser. Can they find one from somewhere? Costa Dean T got Wilcox and Yule, wants his money back. Real Mills, how's that Calypso beer treating you, Jay? It's not great, but I'm Spurs. You know what they call us. I'm not wasting it. Don't put it in the chat. Save all that shit somewhere else. Storm Legacy, I wonder what the 0102 Sudge feels about this result today. It's probably gone to stuck the porn on, I should imagine, at the moment, with the guy who was asking for the shout out, so I told him to go away. But he had away. Thought it was going to be going McAllister. Substitution at Portman Road. Steve Staunton's clean sheet is locked in. He's picked the perfect week for it. He's off with Alan Wright on his place. Ipswich have played poorly tonight, but this game looks like it's headed for a 0-0. Patrick Lawson, want more from Redbroth. I mean, ownership-wise, what we got here, Staunton clean sheet intact, but he'll be on a lot of benches. Ashley Cole clean sheet, possibly. Seaman clean sheet, possibly. Tarico clean sheet, possibly. Captaincy-wise, returns are Hasselbank, Redbroth couple of assists, Jeffers assist, Ashley Cole possible clean sheet. That's it. So everybody's, I mean, some are, you've seen there with like Mark and a few others obviously got 5 clean sheets potentially. You're the winners. You're the winners. FPL chance. I can't get my head around Liverpool in this sim. No, me neither, Dan. But them injuries definitely have not been helping them. That's a certainty. Goal at St Mary's for FPL captains Klaus Lundekvam. An assist from Rory Delap. Maybe from a throw, because you can't score straight from a throw, but assist, you never know. Klaus Lundekvam, FPL captain, tell me in the chat, did you start him? And just wait for him to say, nah, James, didn't, Let us know, Chris. Did you put him in or not? Real Cancel, average score 40 predicted, I reckon. I think that's probably going to be about right. General saying long 5 minutes ahead. Ben Miller saying, cheers, James. Hope we're going to have a real beer when I'm next back in the UK. I hope so, mate. I hope so. Dick Wellington. Fanidi would be legit. If I read out his name, it will be legit. Suji's in the chat. It's just for the benefit of those playing the drinking game. The Saints captain seals it from a corner, jumping higher than Elliott to head the lapse corner past the despairing Poom. It's been an even game, but the Saints will take the 3 much needed points here. Certainly does, yeah, because it keeps them in the relegation zone, but then potentially level on points with Fulham. FPL captain says, Klaus, my boy! So he has started, Lundic fan. Nice. Andrew Martin, Saints are the new entertainers. Man, you're about to get muted, mate. You know it's all about Spurs. Jonathan Nagy, Luke Young doing the business for me. Yeah, obviously, he's had his clean sheet locked in, isn't it? There could be an injury. Steve Howie, when did the Dell close? Summer before this season, 2001. Beat Arsenal 3-2 with a late Matt Letizia goal in their final game. Mark Dorney, average score late 30s. I think still be 40s. I think it's enough clean sheets knocking about. There is a return for someone who's on that top captaincy board. It is Mark Viduka, who's got Leeds third at Filbert Street. Assist goes to Lee Bowyer. Leeds 3 up at Leicester, home and hose. Viduka with a goal, Lee Bowyer with the assist. Assist. They have finally done something away from home. Late riser 12. Well done, Svensson, on dodging those points. Yeah, man. When anyone who free hitted like Svensson, Kevin Davis this morning, definitely didn't have the thoughts of 4 Southampton goals and getting nothing out of it. Remember, guys, predicting these averages on like 35, 40. Wait till you see them bonus points, right? You know that can have a big impact on how it finishes. Course late risers got Viduka catching. Game over at Filbert Street if it wasn't already. Another error from Flowers. Told you he'd get back in free and Walker, didn't I? As he comes for Bowyer's corner but fails to claim it. Viduka is left to head the ball into an empty net in off the post. Question is, if he's heading it into an empty net, how's he managed to get it in off the post? Paul Ronner, first return of the night is from my captain on 88 minutes. It's not true, actually. The goal's timed at 87. Sorry to give you the bad news. Gary Shepherd's got Viduka. Andre's got Viduka captain. I wonder how many hits were. I mean, we knew the average was -2, wasn't it? Pre-kickoff as well. Substitutions at Villa Park. Listen to me, dickhead. Filbert Street. Peter Taylor was absolutely furious at Flowers for his errors on the goals, and now he has subbed him off for Ian Walker. A minute to go. Leeds replaced Robbie Keane, who was booked, with Simon Johnson. They want to finish with 11, I guess. What? Robbie Keane's actually got you a 0-pointer. Rather than just not coming on at all, he's decided to come on and contribute a 0-pointer for you. Unless, obviously, he's in the bonus. Pep talk. Still time for a Fowler hat-trick. The dodge all this Fowler stuff. And what has Liverpool done? Done nothing, haven't they? Mickey Mouse, West Ham. King Irons is going to be pissed out of his head tonight. Will Cantrell, Viduka, first return of the night. Glad you've had one, mate. Fucking hell, I've wildcarded into none. Real Mills should have knew Leeds had his away performance. Ooh, Chelsea. Steve Marley has equalised for Fulham at Stamford Bridge. Goal timed at 90th minute. Steve Marley, the goal scorer. It's 2-2, Stamford Bridge. Right, we're in injury time. So what do we reckon? It looks like we're going to hold, isn't it? I mean, it hasn't been that quiet, really, is it? 3, 7, 9, 12, 15, 21, 23 goals in 9. You get 2.5 average in the Premier League. Just feels like it's been quiet for us, I think, with some of the mentalness that normally happens. And I think the fact that the goals have, sort of a quarter of those goals have been at St Mary's and not for owned players, basically. Bill Cantrell, I did a wildcard. Absolute shocker. Leeds clean sheet is gone. Huge goal at Filbert Street for James Scowcroft and Dennis Wise owners. Scowcroft with the goal. Dennis Wise, of course, with the assist. And the guys who own those two players have just won the game week. Well done. I'm off to go and have a fucking cry. I would have cried worse if I still had Ian Hart in my squad as well, to be fair. Scowcroft goal, Dennis Wise assist, 90th minute goal. Hiphop07 Planet FBL, Wise scored 2 last week at this time, but he's just assisted 1. Eric Nezon said Leicester 2 more goals incoming. I adapted your chat, mate. Joe Jenkins happy. Stephen Hampton has Hart clean sheet. I'll take the Scowcroft goal. I'll let you all bang on about Scowcroft and Wise. Fulham equalising style as Steve Marley repays his manager's faith in him today spectacularly. He picks up Lasso's headed clearance 30 yards out and smashes the ball straight into the top corner. What a strike. And on the Scowcroft goal, lovely by James Scowcroft, and he grabs another late goal. Dennis Wise switches play to him and he dances past Ian Hart, attacks the space and then drives the ball past Nigel Martin, who has been very good tonight. Sounds like a bit of consolation potentially coming in there for Nigel Martin owners in terms of some save points and possibly some bonus. Pep Talk, Scowcroft and Wise owners just won the lottery, didn't they just? Yeah, absolutely. And killed, obviously, a few Hart owners. I don't suppose with them potential blanks in 15, 16, I couldn't get any of them in on that wild card. Chris, FPL captain, please turn this disastrous game week red. Everything is full time. Well done, guys. Well done to our game maters. Well done to the 15,000 who happened to be here in the chat earlier. Thank you to the solitary 230 are still here. Bonus points coming up very shortly. Reminder, obviously, game week 14, 2:30 Saturday. Please join me for my live Ask James chat on Friday. Probably be around about 1 o'clock. In terms of content, I think genuinely, if you've got nothing to do and you come off this stream, the Premier League quiz we did today was great. So it was 26 questions. Every answer represents a different letter of the alphabet. So, for example, if I said to you, who's Liverpool's highest ever appearance holder in the Premier League, you might say Steven Gerrard. And then I'd ask the same question for Ryan Giggs, and you'd say, that's definitely Ryan Giggs. The other one can't be Steven Gerrard. So it would be Jamie Carragher, for example. So you got to think on your feet a little bit. I think you'd really enjoy that sort of thing because some answers will lead you into other answers. Really good fun. Tomorrow, bit of a special in terms of Thursday throwback. My man, Gascoigne. What a ledge. We're going to do a podcast on Paul Gascoigne's career tomorrow, and we'll probably be quite honest about some of the bad stuff as well as the greatness that he showed so often on the pitch. And as I mentioned, obviously that 24-hour stream, 6 a.m. Saturday, May the 23rd to 6 a.m. Sunday, May the 24th. Everybody will have an opportunity to call in via Zoom at a couple of points during the day. What I'll be doing over the next couple of days is kind of spilling out guests who will be on the show during the day, and then we'll talk about timings because we're doing other things. We're playing some mad-ass games, and yeah, it's going to get emotional and fun and drunk. I'm not going to lie to you. Bonus points incoming. Top bonus from Highbury goes to Tikhonov. 2 bonus points for Tony Adams, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, Nwanku Kanu, Francis Jeffers, and Emerson Tome. 1 save point for Thomas Sorensen. There were 3 bookings in the game. Arsenal's was for Tikhonov, who got a 9 out of 10 for his man of the match performance. Also yellow cards for Chris Bart-Williams and Lilian Leslandis. Arsenal replaced Freddie Ljungberg with Robert Perez on 59 minutes. And Junichi Inamoto came on for Albertini on 90. Gavin McCann was replaced by Tom Peters for Sunderland on 54. Nicholas Medina replaced Chris Bart-Williams for the final 5 minutes. Nothing more to really report on that game particularly. Top bonus at Charlton goes to Sean Bartlett. There were 2 bonus points for Dean Kiley, Klaus Jensen. But at least I've got 2 bonus for Richard Rufus as well, who regular viewers will know I've said every week for about a month that I would play Richard Rufus in this fixture, and he hung around on the wild card, especially to do it basically. Mind you, I would have got the same points from Dean Kiley, who also picked up 1 save point bonus. It's actually 1 less. There was also 1 save point bonus for Alan Kelly as well. There were no bookings in the match. 3 subs for Charlton, all at 60 minutes or later. Luke Young went off injured. Shitu was replaced on 60. McAllister replaced on 67. There were appearances for John Robinson, Jonathan Fortune, Graham Stewart. Shitu actually replaced on 60 minutes, had a 5 out of 10 rating. Interesting. Blackburn, Jesus, them away from home, right? Simon Grayson came on for Craig Hignett on 53. David Dunn for Gary Flitcroft on 59. Marlon Brooms on for Martin Taylor on 64. There were a couple of Blackburn players who got 7s out of 10. Kelly, Curtis, Bjornaby, McAteer and Matt Jansen. I realise that's more than a couple. Top bonus at Stamford Bridge goes to Jesper Gronkiar. There are 2 bonus points for a number of players. 5 for Chelsea and 5 for Fulham. 2 bonus points for all of the following 10 players: Mario Melchior, John Terry, Gianfranco Zola, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, Graham Lasso, Edwin van der Sar, John Harley, Stoltzers, Stilvan Legwincy, Steve Marley. Carlo Cudicini had 1 save point bonus. Edwin van der Sar, 3 save point bonus. There were 2 bookings in the match for Albert Ferrer of Chelsea and Martin Corrigan of Fulham. Gronki's man of match performance was a 9 out of 10. Mario Stanic, who captained Chelsea today, went off injured on 42 minutes, replaced by Lasso, who came on and got bonus points. Leon Knight, we knew, replaced Sam Donnabonnet on 73. Fulham's only change was Sean Davis for Steed Malbronk on 83 minutes. Top bonus at Goodison Park goes to David Weir. There were 2 bonus points for Gary Naismith, Alan Stubbs, Thomas Gravison, Thomas Rodzinski, Neil Madison and Colin Hendry. 3 players booked in the match. Score of Everton's equaliser, Scott Gemmell. Also Kevin Nolan and Bruno Ngotti of Bolton. Robert Lee of Bolton had a 5 out of 10 rating. Abel Xavier was the only Everton starter with less than a 7 out of 10 rating, interestingly. He came off injured on 58 minutes to be replaced by David Unsworth. Kevin Campbell and Alex Anderson also made appearances to replace Ferguson and Steve Watson respectively after the hour mark. And Bolton had brought on Franson for Warhurst on 53 and Michael Ricketts for Rod Wallace on 66. Top bonus. So I've had some bonus of Stubbs and Rufus. Let's see if I got any from Herman Hreidarsson, the bonus point magnet. Top bonus, Herman Hreidarsson, 3 points for the Icelander. And there are 2 bonus points for Ipswich goalkeeper Andy Marshall and Aston Villa's Olaf Melberg and Gareth Barry. 1 save point bonus for Andy Marshall. 1 booking in the match, that was for Aston Villa's Melberg, who obviously picked up bonus there. A few 5 out of 10 ratings to tell you about. Jason Kumas for Ipswich, who was withdrawn on 53. Dion Dublin, who was withdrawn on 53 for Villa. And George Boateng, also withdrawn by Villa on 59. On these 5 out of 10s, I would read more into the fact they're getting replaced in-game than what it means for them going forward. So, just to clarify, Magilton on for Kumas on 53. Roycer for Holland on 64. J. Lloyd Samuel and Angel on for Dublin and Boateng pre the hour. Alan Wright came on for Steve Staunton on 84 minutes. Top bonus for Leicester. If you don't own Leicester players and already feel like you've been kicked today, James Scowcroft has picked up top bonus. Oh my days. There were 2 bonus points for Harpal Singh. There is also 1 bonus point for Matt Elliott, Muzzy Izzet, Dennis Wise, Nigel Martin, Jonathan Woodgate, Lee Bowyer, Mark Viduka. There are 2 save points for Tim Flowers and Nigel Martin. The account also thought necessary to put Ian Walker at 0 save points. That would have been some injury time had he got any. But you could argue the introduction of the great former Spur Ian Walker is what spurred Leicester to their late comeback consolation goal. 2 bookings in the game for Leeds. Robbie Keane we knew, and also Lucas Radaby. Keane on for Singh on 46, was then replaced by Simon Johnson on 87. Leicester's changes were Ian Walker on for Flowers on 87, and Arne Gunlaugson made a late appearance replacing Joey McAnuff on 91 minutes. Scowcroft's man and match rating was a 9 out of 10. Harpal Singh also received a 9 out of 10. On to St James's Park, where Spurs win on the road again. Top bonus goes to another player on the losing side, Christian Besaidis of Newcastle. There were 2 bonus points for Nikos Dabizas, Robbie Elliott, Casey fucking Keller, Goran Bunjevcevic, Stefan Selakovic, Teddy Sheringham, and that's it. There was save point bonus, 1 each for Given and Keller. Only booking in the match was for Ledley King, who I'm thinking about filing a complaint against the official Champ Man account for victimisation against Ledley King. We might be talking about that offline. Newcastle made 2 changes. Obviously, Aaron Hughes replaced the injured Shearer on 38, and Gary Speed replaced the new signing Saputuzanidis on 45 minutes. Simon Davis came on twice for Richard Johnson on 72 minutes, as you already knew. Ben Thatcher replaced Ledley King on 91 minutes. Christian Ziga, just of note, actually made it through a full 90 minutes. Spurs' highest raters were the 8 out of 10s that I mentioned, that were obviously in the bonus points. Top bonus at St Mary's goes to another player on the losing side. This one did score twice, in fairness. Fabrizio Ravanelli gets top bonus. There were 2 bonus points for Rory Delap and Klaus Lundik-Van. That is it. And the reason for that is the 2 Saints players got 9 out of 10 ratings. Ravanelli with a 10 out of 10. Derby's Mark Poomin goal had a 4 out of 10 rating. Bad day at the office. No bookings in the match. No substitutions made by Derby throughout. So Kinclarty stayed as a substitute. Southampton had bought Draper on for Svensson, Joe Tessam on for Murray, and Benali on from Jason Dodd, all in the final 10 minutes leading up to the 60-minute mark. There was 1 save point bonus for Paul Jones as well. And I think this is the final one from Upton Park. Top bonus goes to Joe Cole, unsurprisingly, scorer of both goals for West Ham. 2 bonus points for Thomas Repka, 1 for Scott Minso, 1 for Freddie Canute, 1 for Laurent Courtois. Not a dime bar for a Liverpool asset. Vegard Hegem was booked, having come on for Steven Gerrard on 52. Stephen Wright, as we knew, had replaced Dietmar Hamann on 58. Laurent Courtois went off injured on 51 for Paul Kitson. Izzy Erikpin came on 68. On 62 for Ian Breckin, and was sent off 6 minutes later. Joe Cole's man of match performance was a 10 out of 10. The other West Ham players to pick up bonus were Repka, 9 out of 10, and those who got 1 point, 8 out of 10. Before we go, Premier League table, Manchester United remain top on 28 points, ahead of Arsenal on goal difference, essentially by a goal, having now played the same amount of games. Middlesbrough third, further point back. Leeds now up to 4th on 25 points. Spurs 5th on 22, now 7 wins this season. Ipswich 6th on 21. Charlton up to 7th with 19 points. Chelsea 8th, Leicester 9th, Everton 10th. Chelsea on 18, Leicester, Everton, and then Bolton all on 17 points. Liverpool down to 12th with 16 points from 11 played. Won 4, drawn 4, lost 3. Blackburn are on 15 points with Derby County. Newcastle and Villa 15th, 16th respectively on 14 points. Steve Marley's goal keeps Fulham outside the relegation zone on 13 points. Southampton on 12 points, still only 18th in spite of that win over Derby today. West Ham off the bottom up to 19th. Nosebleed for the Irons on 10 points now. A point ahead of Sunderland, who were beating at Arsenal. Your top scorers I won't go through because it's been bashing about on the table live all day. And the same obviously for... I'll go for average ratings. Ruud van Nistelrooy remains the highest, 8.42. Then Veron, 8.1. Other players with more than 8.0 average rating: Henry 8.09, Hariderson 8.09, Boxic and Everson. Obviously, Everson not getting game time at the moment. 8. Johnson, Redbroth, Gronkiart, Beckham, Alan Goma of Fulham, Emerson Tome, Matt Elliott, James Scowcroft of Leicester are your top 14 for average ratings for the season so far. I think that's it. Thank you very much for everything this evening, guys. Really good fun, proper laugh, even if we didn't have the goals that we might perhaps come to expect on our Wednesday nights. But brilliant. Big shout out as ever to FPL captain Sterling Work on the graphics, my man, and obviously to Andy, James and Dave for everything they're doing for the game. And all the guys putting out brilliant content as well. Give yourselves a pat on the back, have a beer. Stay safe, guys. Be nice to each other. Hopefully we're getting into a position in the UK where in the coming weeks our world might start to become a better place. Be sensible. I'm not going to tell you to stay alert. I'm going to tell you to keep being fucking safe, personally. Do what you need to do. Look after yourself and your loved one, most importantly. And I love you all. I will hopefully see many of you on my Ask James stream Friday. I'll obviously about 2:30 Saturday. Catch up with the pods. Give that shit a retweet. You never know. If you retweet every pod, I might follow you. Anyway, ciao for now. Boom.